And we got a dink. And I think we might be live there, unless we're not. Okay, that's
Unless we're not.
right. And then we got to get Wild Bunch going. And you got to get yeah. Let's see. We'll kick both of those. There we go. And we hit play, and we hit play again. Okay, so for all you that missed it, that aren't listening on NHB streams, Brian is having trouble getting it in. So now we're all up to speed.
Not anymore.
Not,
it's in there, man.
It's in there. You got it in.
Yep.
Live on the air. Brian got it in.
Got it in.
We have made contact. Docking has been done. What else could we say? Anyways, we should probably open the show then.
Hello, show.
And now, an NHB Radio
and Wild Bunch Radio
live feature presentation.
This is a serious message. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Does Bob Bueller do this stuff? I don't think so.
Fuck man. Fuck man.
Jump, jump.
Oh my god, I think I pooped myself.
I will toss a salad.
I'm now going to go slash my wrist with a fucking fork.
Hello, it is February 4th, 2015, and we are live with the Amateur Hour. Also going live right now is the NHB Radio Show, which you can hear on nhbshow.com. So if that's the show you're looking for, go ahead and move along and tell Damon and Liam I sent you. But if you want to hear the real show on the real No Holds Barred Radio Network, the Amateur Hour is the show for you. And not only do we have a show, but we also have a show that, according to my levels, is favoring the right channel over the left channel. So, if you're right-handed, you're all set.
And if that bugs you, just hit the mono button on your equipment.
Yeah, the mono sum button right there on the Marantz amplifier. Wait, I don't think they make mono sum buttons anymore.
Huh.
I think that's gone the way of Radio Shack.
Oh.
Yeah, let's get right into that. I called that one. I called that.
Well, I suggested we will do a Radio Shack segment. That is, everybody that comes across and says, oh, that Radio Shack store is now closed. Hey, that's in Topeka, Kansas at Water Street. Or whatever, because I just made that up. I have no idea if there is a Water Street or even if there is a Topeka, Kansas.
I think there's a Topeka, Kansas.
There's Topeka, Kansas.
And there probably is a Water Street. Now, whether Water Street and Topeka, Kansas exist in the same area, I don't know. And then, of course, is there a Radio Shack? You know what? We need to look this up. Let's go to Google Maps and see if there is a Water Street in Topeka, Kansas. Water Street, Topeka, Kansas. Let's see. Let's see. It's loading. It's loading. And there's a river in Topeka, Kansas. I know that because it's bright
Is
blue.
that the Topeka River?
That would be that'd be the Kansas River. So I guess that would be a street made of water, kind of. So maybe
that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
No.
You can't look it up and it
streets
shows you.
of water in, like, Venice or something?
There's
water streets.
Lindy Spring Systems bottled water supplier, which is on Van Buren Street in Topeka, Kansas, and there's the Kansas Department of Agriculture.
Okay, can we get back on topic here? Can we get back on topic?
I thought that was the topic.
No, I think that's the distraction.
What's the topic then, Brian?
See, of course, that's the thing about an amateur. An amateur can't tell the main topic from the distraction. The topic is Radio Shack.
The topic is
Radio Shack store is closing.
No, I think the topic is street names in Topeka. I actually put that on the white sheet this week that we would be discussing the different streets in Topeka.
Wait, you guys are just now finding out that Radio Shack is closing?
Oh, I've been saying Radio Shack is closing for years. Radio Shack has finally caught up to me.
But Radio
Radio
Shack has
Shack.
been just delisted from the New York Stock Exchange. Actually, I know a guy I went to high school with. I didn't actually even know, but he was working at a Radio Shack store as a manager, I believe in Seattle, and he was given 4 days' notice that they were closing. So, this is also a serious topic. People are losing their jobs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's
last count, Radio Shack had something like 4,000 stores.
I mean, that's the sad thing. I mean, whether or not the company deserves to go under, whether or not, whatever your feelings are for the store, I certainly feel for the people who are losing their jobs and, have now found themselves in a bad position. That is the reality that really sucks about this whole thing. But also the reality is that I'm amazed that Radio Shack has stayed open as long as it has.
Well, and that's a common comment online. People are just saying, "Oh, they're just going under now."
Yeah.
I mean, Circuit City lost long time ago.
Right.
CompUSA went out long time ago.
And the thing is, Circuit City and CompUSA
we're still surprised that Best Buy is still up, and running.
The thing is the only reason that Radio Shack had a reason to exist was as a
Free
hobby.
batteries.
Well, no, it was as a hobby electronics shop. That was
I saw my Q Cat. Does that count?
That was the only thing that made them stand out. I could buy a phone anywhere. If I want to go to a store and be harassed about buying a cell phone that I don't want, I can go to Best Buy. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks for throwing up my punchline there.
Actually, my first cell phone was at a Radio Shack store.
Well, you worked at a Radio Shack store, so of course you had.
Well, but that was long before. Cell phones weren't invented when I worked at Radio Shack.
Oh,
people were still buying CD radios.
Wait,
when I worked for Radio Shack.
Wait, back when you were young, they had Radio Shacks?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They had those back then?
Yeah, and CB radios, man.
I thought they were radio caves back then. That was before Shacks.
Brian's not as old as Venison.
You're confusing me with Venison.
Oh,
Venison, I think worked. Oh, did Venison ever work?
I think he worked for Sound Designs once.
Oh, that was harsh, but I'll allow it.
I don't know. Venison's happy. He got Chinese food today. I don't know how though.
I think
did he go
went
to a dumpster dive someplace,
diving.
and the guy had them take out Chinese that he
dumpster.
threw away?
Oh, Chinese restaurant dumpster is the worst dumpster to dive in. So
Maybe maybe he put some sweet and sour sauce on Yiffer and decided to eat them finally.
Yeah, that could be. That could be. And Yiffer is probably finally found a purpose for existing. I don't know. Yiffer is just creeps me out, even though it's just venison with a pitch shift. But
what? What are you talking about, Gators? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways, we I don't know if you caught this, Brian, but on the tweet I did invite someone else to listen, kind of. You know?
No, actually, I missed that because I just saw the notification that I was tweeted from you, and I go, "Oh, the show must be starting soon. I better get out the headphones and get plugged in."
And you actually connected it right from the start, so that not a single second of show has to go by without Brian, because I've actually gotten feedback from some of the regular listeners that they love Brian and they want to hear more of him.
I think that's a bunch of bullshit, but okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, actually, that is a bunch of bullshit. But
yeah, I've gotten all these tweets from my fans, right?
From your fan. Oh wait, you bought one of those expensive fans that tweets to circulate the air in your apartment. Is that what you're saying?
There you go. That's right.
That's about the only fan that's going to tweet
someone
you.
Might fart.
There you go. No, but I included on the tweet announcement. What's his Twitter?
Grumpy old Rick?
Grumpy old Rick. Yes, Grumpy old Rick hopefully is out there listening. And Grumpy old Rick is actually Rick Wakeman is the Grumpy old Rick. And You know Grumpy Old Rick, right, Brian?
I do.
Grumpy Old Rick Wakeman, Grumpy Old Rick, keyboardist
No,
of Yes, that Rick Wakeman.
Really? That one?
That one. What other Rick Wakeman do you know, Brian? How many Rick
I'll
Wakemans
be darned.
do you know?
I'll be darned. I didn't know that's who he was.
He's Grumpy Old Rick on the Twitters, and back in the he also has done a bunch of solo material, and I've got here with me to show off from my quad collection, quad 8-track of Rick Wakeman's first solo album, Six Wives of Henry VIII, quad 8-track of Rick Wakeman, Journey to the Center of the Earth. Quad 8-track, including a busted slip case here with the label kind of peeling a bit of King Arthur.
He follows 18 people.
And I'm not one of them.
Let's see who he follows them.
He should be following me because I've bought his album.
He follows this guy, Brian Cox, who is the guy that I follows.
Not Brian Blues. He is not following the right Brian. Clearly, he is not getting his daily supply.
But
of
I'm
cat
at least
pics.
following that Brian.
But you're following that
because Brian's hanging out together. Oh, he also follows Stephen Fry, who I follow.
Okay, all
and
right.
Jonathan Ross, who I follow.
So he's following Brian and Jonathan, but not the right Brian and Jonathan.
And John Cleese.
And John
that
Cleese.
I follow.
John Cleese. Yeah. Oh, I should probably follow John Cleese. Anyways, so I have those. And recently it was announced that Venison was going to Skype in. And hello there, Venison.
Do you really think Rick Wakeman's going to listen to this show?
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
now
I
that
think
you're
so.
calling, probably not.
I think Rick Wakeman wants to hear what a bunch of random people want to say about Radio Shack and Water Street in Topeka, Kansas, and whether or not.
Yeah, but he's a Brit. He's not going to even know what Radio Shack is, will he?
Ye Old Radio Shack. There we go.
Well, actually,
Water Street, Topeka.
I was reading the history, and in the UK, they're candy stores.
Oh, and so they actually serve a useful purpose over there.
Are they battery-shaped candies?
Yeah. Wait, Radio Shack.
Candy, Tandy.
Candy, yes. We used to have a Tandy 1000 when I was younger.
Oh, Tandy.
Yeah. They used to sell them here.
Absolutely. Because that's the outfit that bought Radio Shack up from its original founders early on.
Right. Anyways, so why did I invite Grumpy Old Rick to listen to the show? Well, because...
Why did you?
Why did I? Because 2 deluxe editions of 2 of those 3 8-tracks I just showed you have recently come out. And I now have here the deluxe edition of Rick Wakeman, Six Wives of Henry VIII, and deluxe edition of King Arthur. Oddly enough, they did not do one of Journey to the Center of the Earth, so I'm going to have to stick to my 8-track or my quadradisc over on the shelf over there. That direction for that one. But they did announce, deluxe edition with 2-disc set, CD, and DVD audio, which contains the quadraphonic mix, which was like, holy shit, I am buying those. And then I placed my order, and then I got my email that they have shipped. And then conversation broke out on the Quadraphonic Quad forums that they used vinyl to source the quadraphonic mixes on these DVDs. So yes, I spent nearly $50 for these 2 deluxe editions to buy someone else's record conversion to digital of records that I already own.
So wait, would that mean you bought a bootleg professionally?
A professional bootleg.
Well, no, but Universal's allowed to sell copies of these.
That's why I said professional. See, there you go.
Well, actually, no. A guy by the name of Oxford Dickey provided them with files, and I know that guy. He does good work. He's quite works quite a bit on making SQ decoding scripts, and he could be a nice guy. But if you rub him the wrong way, he could be quite an ass. But then again, one of the guys that he rubbed the wrong way is quite an ass back to him, and I get along.
So
and I'm not
he's
taking a
into
position
rubbing
there
guys?
because they're both good guys, and I get along with both of them. And when one of them
Uh-huh.
starts hurling insults at the other, I just shake my head and go, "Damn it, you two, behave!"
You shake your shit.
I shake my head. My
Oh.
head.
Oh, you said you shake your shit.
Well, I
That's called a little bum wiggling in the bathroom.
It's
That's what
it's
shaking
called.
your
It's
shit
hard to talk and get a sentence out when I have 5 people interrupting me variously.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? Well, I got Brian and
Wait,
Edison on
there's
the
only
Skype.
4 of us.
Well, yeah, but there's also the voice in my head.
Yes, we know about the voice in your head.
Only one.
Yeah, we sometimes hear too much from that.
Yeah. Anyways, so even though so originally my thought was, this is bullshit because they should let you know up front. I hate it when I buy a CD of an obscure album and it's sourced from vinyl. It's like if you're gonna
Are they
do
gonna
that,
say, "Oh yeah, we sourced it from vinyl, so be sure to buy this again"?
they should put a disclaimer on there if you're doing that. Because on the one hand, okay, not everyone has a Marantz CD400 demodulator set up in the next room to their turntable with Signet cartridge to properly play back a quadradisc. So for many people, yes, it is useful to have a DVD. So I mean, heck, I make my own DVDs from these records, and
You know, why don't you talk to Universal and have them outsourced to other people so you can make some money from
well,
Universal?
that's what they did because, like I said, I know the guy that provided them with the files. No one asked me.
Then you should
Yeah,
get to a professional business of doing this, Gators. You could probably make a lot of money.
I'd be glad to. I keep telling these people, but they don't want to hear. But the thing is, if
They
you're
don't want to
gonna
listen to you?
if you're gonna
Why
sell
not?
if you're gonna sell record files, you got to be upfront about it. To me,
Universal, if you're listening, talk to Gators.
yeah, talk
Just
to me.
call him.
Talk to me. I know
Yeah,
what I'm doing.
talk to him. He'll make you some good quads or
Hey,
something.
come on. Yeah, just just hit me up. Hit me up on the hey, aim name Army of Quad. Just drop me a line.
Yeah.
You've heard my name.
You
You know you
call
have.
you could call NHB Live on Skype probably.
Come on. I'm the guy that's putting all the discs out there for free of your copyrighted material.
Oh, well, you may not want to say that, but
No.
Especially if Grumpy Rick is listening.
Actually, no. Grumpy Rick was cool with because Oxford Dickey had done those albums and put them out there, whereas those were on my to-do list, but I never got around to them.
I heard someone's name is
But
Oxford Dickey.
Oxford Dickey did conversions of those, and Rick Wakeman found out about them and was like, well, it's cool that people can hear those again. And so when Universal was going to put together a set and include the quad mix and they couldn't find the master tapes, it was Rick Wakeman that said, well, there's this Oxford Dickey guy that does conversions. So clearly I should have made that contact before Oxford Dickey did, but hey, good for him. Good for Oxford Dickey. It's always nice to see one of us get some recognition from the industry because, heaven knows they usually don't even give us a time of day. So it's nice when at least,
Or they arrest you.
Nah, no one's arrested me yet, but hopefully won't get a knock at the door. I guess I could jump out the balcony. Anyways, yeah, got to plan an exit strategy.
As long as you're not barbecuing.
As long as I'm not, no, the barbecue's not on. Yeah, so I decided, what the heck? It's not worth the hassle of returning them. I'll just keep them and check out how good they came out, and whatever. But the thing that's kind of a shame is that, I mean, the Six Wives of Henry VIII came out on SQ vinyl, which sucks. And the Quad 8-track actually sounds pretty good. And for a while there was rumor going around, people weren't sure what was what, and I'm still not sure because some people are saying, oh, it was sourced from vinyl that Oxford Dickey gave them, and then one person came in and said, oh, I heard it was from an 8-track. And then another person said, yeah, it sounds like 8-track because there's a bit of wobble. And then the wobble he was talking about is on all copies, so it's on the master tape. And then other people are saying, no, it sounds like record. So I don't even know what source was used for this. And but I do know the 8-track sounds pretty awesome, and I'll probably make my own conversion of the 8-track at some point. But the SQ record, SQ is a shitty format. But in Japan,
So the CDs sound like crap, then?
in Japan, it came out on CD4 vinyl. And I'm talking to a friend of mine that buys Japanese CD4 records and sells them. And I'm seeing if he can find me a copy of that in CD4 so I could add that to my
Why didn't
collection.
they master it from CD4 vinyl then?
Well, the Japanese CD4 vinyls are rarer, harder to find, and
Isn't this a guy that does stuff from Universal? Wouldn't you think he'd be able to have that?
I think the whole thing is stupid. I think they should keep trying to find the master. Leave this stuff to the amateurs. How many quad masters have they not lost? Enough that they could have made a deluxe edition of something else and saved this for when they found the right tape.
How about this for a novel idea?
Yeah.
Why don't you make new music in quad?
What, Rick Wakeman make new music in quad? That would be cool. That'd be cool. I'd buy that.
See? Yeah. See?
Or,
there you go.
Or better yet, if they still have the multi-track tapes, make a new 5.1 surround mix of them. The question comes down how much demand is there for this? I think there's only so much
why not
budget.
7.2?
Oh, that's just crazy talk.
Yeah.
Like this whole last how many 20 minutes, whatever, hasn't been just fucking crazy talk?
What? Because we're not
been...
talking about Radio Shack, and you got Radio Shack on the brain. There are other people.
No.
With top...
I'm just. Hey, I said 20 minutes. That would include the early discussion of Radio Shack.
But
Lots of Radio Shack.
Radio Shack hasn't been useful in over 10 years.
Well, it all depends on who you are. They're not useful for for whole product, whole units. But they were the last people around for individual components.
Yes, but the last time, over the past 5 to 10 years,
there is.
Oh my God, people! Let me get a sentence out.
No.
Hey, I got the button. I hear the sounds of cheering coming from down under. Anyways, over the past 5 years, multiple times I've gone shopping at Radio Shack to buy parts and components. And every time I went there was the set of drawers in the back. And I go in the back, I open the drawers. And they wouldn't have the right value of resistors that I needed. They wouldn't have the right value of capacitors I needed. Okay, well, I can add different resistors together to get the values I need. But
mix and match them.
They never, even with mixing and matching, I could never find everything I needed there. They fucking sucked.
That's what trim pots are for.
I ended up going online and ordering stuff online because Radio Shack never had what I needed.
Well, but online would have been cheaper anyway. So you should. Why did you start a Radio Shack?
Because I wanted to buy something that day.
Exactly. They're good for if you need something that day.
If Radio Shack would have fucking stocked their stores, maybe we would have had something. Plus, I remember one time about 10 years ago, I went to a Radio Shack because I had just bought my reel-to-reel deck, and I needed a take-up reel. I go to Radio Shack. I'm like, hey, where are the take-up reels? We don't carry those. What the fuck do you exist for, then? Well, do you need a phone? We can sell you a phone. I don't need a phone! I need a take-up reel. Can I thread a tape onto the phone? No?
Maybe.
I think we're done here.
Well, one of the possibilities is that Radio Shack is selling half the stores to Sprint.
Uh-huh.
Well, so they'll still be able to get phones at those locations.
Well, I also talk about Amazon's interested in them too.
That's right. I mean, there's all these possibilities.
Yeah.
Although I think, as I mentioned earlier, a friend of mine was running a store in Seattle, and it is closed. So if a deal with Amazon is going to happen, or Sprint, or whatever else, it's got to be working fast because stores are closing.
Well, they could reopen stores.
And the suggestion for this segment was, let's talk about stores that have actually closed.
Why?
Or even, in fact, is stores in your area? Johnny, still open?
I don't know.
Did you go buy them?
Yeah. The one in Southland is open, and the one over at the other place I think is still open too.
Yeah, I didn't really care all that much, but
thank you for doing the homework, Mr. Mars.
Well, there's one by me that's still open too.
I was looking for something the other day, so.
And it was that Venison. You said there's something open in your
area?
Yeah,
there's one open around my area, which is still
why
needed.
did you try to get a job at Radio Shack?
Hey, Venison, you should go there like tomorrow. Go in and say, "Hey, I hear you guys are hiring."
You should. That would be hilarious.
Oh, Now that's salt in the wound.
No, that means just to get the reaction from.
Goodness.
Yeah, maybe I got it wrong.
maybe hiring, firing, they rhyme, right? You know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now I got a WAV file queued up here, so let's see what is actually on this DVD. So let's see. We got. Trying to tell if that's a record or not. Let's listen to the fade out at the end of the song. That's record. Source from vinyl, not from 8-track. All right. I apologize to Grumpy Rick for tweeting you a picture of an 8-track and saying, yeah, I've already got one of those, because clearly this is not from an 8-track. I should have tweeted you a picture of my vinyl copy. Let's see what kind of decoding they did, though. So let's listen to the back speakers isolated, just to, for inform people to make an informed decision. Because you listening out there right now, you could buy this. And you might want to know what's going to come out of your speakers. And so here's what will come out of your back speakers if you were to buy this album. And check it out. Source from SQ Vinyl. I don't know if that's that's got to be a script of some sort. They must have used Oxford Dickies files.
Oh, by the way, something to slip in there.
Yeah?
I was addicted to the hokey pokey, but I turned myself around.
Oh.
That's so bad. That's so bad.
Well, Forge hasn't been around in a while.
All right, let's listen to this with the front speakers panned left and the rear speakers back panned right, because why? It's my show and I want to. I'm curious how this came out. And plus, if Rick Wakeman's listening, this way we could be like doing a live review and, hey, Rick, let's see what we think of this. Well, clearly the drums are isolated to the back channels. I think it's a very well done SQ script decoding. I mean, I don't think it's from a outboard decoder. This is probably Oxford Dickies files that were used, which good for him. And his scripts are pretty. Yeah, I have his scripts. I use them. But that's because my tape is still in the shop. Good piano sound. Okay.
Which side is that coming from, Gators?
The middle.
Left or rear? Middle, okay.
Organ's in the front, and the drums are in the back.
They all sound in the middle to me.
Well, yeah, that's because I'm only sending mono to the team talking Skype. So
yeah, that makes sense.
you all. All right, so there you go. If you want a quick and easy way to listen to Rick Wakeman, Six Wives of Henry VIII in quad, pick up the deluxe edition to get a decent done SQ script decoding of it. However, if you're a hardcore fan, there actually is a Japanese CD4 up for sale on eBay at this moment. And
you should pick it up, Gators.
Well, I'm gonna try to get a better price. I've sent a email out to Nick Perugini in Reading, Pennsylvania, and he said he might have a spare copy for sale. He's got to go check through his extras at home and see what he's got doubles of.
You should move the Pennsylvania Gators. Then you could just move next to this guy. You could guys do.
That'd be way too expensive.
Oh.
But right now there is a CD4 of Six Wives of Henry VIII on sale by Kazun0503, who's got many Japanese CD4s for sale, and he actually is in Japan, so you got to pay shipping for Japan, and it's got to buy it now of $399.99.
For vinyl? Gators?
Yeah, that's
for vinyl?
Yeah, that's pretty pricey. That's the thing, is that I see this guy on eBay all the time. Why? Because he's got a lot of really cool, rare Japanese CD4 records for sale. I've never bought anything from him. Why? Because he charges way too much for them.
How do you know it's a good copy of it?
He's got a picture. It looks good. You really don't know what it is until you play it, though.
He's got a picture of vinyl. Nice.
Well, you can tell a little something, and he does grade it, and he's got a good feedback on eBay. Anytime you buy vinyl on eBay, there's a certain amount of risk involved. He also has a quad copy of Papa John Creech for $299.99. That's another rare one that I wouldn't mind.
$300 for that?
$300 for Papa John Creech.
I don't think I paid that much for Papa John. Sorry. Sorry about that. Sorry, Papa John.
Papa John
I like your
Creech.
pizza, but
You know?
not your vinyl.
So, anyways, we'll see if Nick finds me a copy in his collection of doubles, and if he does, he'll probably sell it to me for under $200. So that'll be much cheaper than going to eBay.
Oh.
I have a feeling he's probably going to give me a price of more than $100 if he finds it, and then I got to think about it. But at this point, I think that's the best way to hear it. Because CD4 outperforms SQ. SQ is just not a discrete format. Okay, so there's a Department of Water office with the Department of Health and Environment in Topeka, Kansas. Water office, but it's not on Water Street, but it's on the street that the water office is on. So that's kind of like
That's close.
That's close. I mean, that's on.
Yeah.
And that's right. That's in the same building as the Kansas Department of Agriculture, and that's on Southwest 9th Street.
Well, see, that's actually pretty convenient. You need the water for the agriculture.
Right. Maybe if we rename Southwest 9th Street in Topeka Water Street, then there would be a Water Street. Yeah. Then we just need to find a Radio Shack on that street. Is what we need to do.
Well, then you just tear down the water store and make it a Radio Shack.
Well, let's see where there are Radio Shacks in Topeka, Kansas, because Brian did bring up finding Radio Shacks in Topeka, Kansas, and I tried to do what my co-hosts want to do.
Should we then call them? See if they're still open?
Yeah.
You just do a quick call to say, "Oh, hey, are you still open?"
And then see if I can get a replacement belt for my turntable.
See if they still have free batteries.
Yeah.
They give free batteries. Hey, I got a free QCat.
Free batteries?
My battery at the month card still valid?
Of course it is.
You get a battery at
That's
the month.
the standard
Where'd
Radio
these
Shack
battery of the
stick.
month cards come from? I never knew about these. I could have been
What?
stocking up for years.
How long
Yes,
have
you
been
could've.
dealing with Radio Shack?
I got
They
a
have
Radio Shack
always
once in a
had
while.
All right,
I
well,
didn't know
let's.
about that. I got a free QCat.
All right,
That's about it.
let's see here.
Of course, the shelf life is only about a month.
All right. So let's call a Radio Shack in Topeka, Kansas.
And the battery that you picked up has been there for 6 months.
All right, everyone, be quiet. I'm making a phone call.
Oh, excuse us.
This phone has been disconnected.
Can I have double sausage?
Hello. Hello.
All right, apparently that one closed. I don't think that's gonna.
Oh.
Well, the phone line hasn't been disconnected, though.
No, but I'm picturing a phone ringing in an empty store. Is what I'm picturing right now.
There's just it's
Well,
one
but
solitary
it's
phone in the
also
middle of the store.
it's also let's see, that would be Central Time, right? So
Uh,
that'd be like 7:30, correct?
Right, but
And yeah, they'd probably be closed.
They're open till 8.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
When they were open till 8. Emily writes in Gators, what is it with the Japanese and music? You have frequently mentioned Japanese guys buying and selling on eBay, and the Japanese frequently get special edition of CDs with bonus tracks, and the rest of us don't. Am I missing something? Well,
Yeah, Japanese imports supposed to be higher quality.
Well, yeah, but other countries also have higher quality than the United States. But also Japanese markets seem to embrace certain technologies more. You know, see.
And music. The Japanese have always been into, among their own. I mean, there's J-pop, but they are into American music, so they re-release a lot of stuff that's American.
Right, and back in the 70s, they were into the technology, so the CD4 stuff was more embraced in that market than in the U.S. market, so they got more releases there.
Some of the nicest Fender guitars, Stratocasters, are made in Japan because they embraced that whole thing. We want to be
right. Well, also. They developed a lot of the stuff. Like the CD4 format was developed by JVC, a Japanese company. So
did they develop mini discs as well, or?
Wasn't that Sony?
I know it was super popular in Japan, though.
Yeah, Sony and JVC and some of the other players have been really big at developing the technology. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So that's what that is. Now the other thing is that bonus points if you find one of these was that the A&M stuff that was released in quad in Japan was actually released by King Records. I mean, it was released on A&M and it has the A&M label, but if you look in the blurb, it's like released or issued by King Records. And they released all of them in CD4, even titles that were released in SQ in the U.S. But also, supposedly, now don't quote me on this because I don't have proof of this, but it's believed that all of the King Records releases in Japan were also released on quad reel. And they are very rare and very hard to find. And I have seen with my own eyes a copy of Quincy Jones' You Got It Bad Girl on quad reel from Japan.
Did you touch it, Gators?
You know why I won't quote you, Johnny?
Why?
You know why I won't quote you?
Because you don't care?
Because anytime I talk to somebody and I mention the word quad, they say, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Okay. But if you happen to find yourself in a...
Did you touch it, or did you see it?
I did touch it, actually, because that was Nick in Reading, Pennsylvania has a copy.
Did you touch it?
Himself.
Yeah, and he also has a copy of The Carpenters Now and Then on quad reel, which I don't care so much about, but it's still pretty cool that he has it.
Did he charge you to touch it?
No.
Okay.
I did buy some records.
So you
from him, though.
got a free feel then, huh?
Oh yeah, he had his whole quad reel collection in the back of his auto parts store. So I kind of took a look through his collection.
So Mars, since we're talking about Japan,
Uh-huh.
did you see? Have you been up on the latest season of Top Gear, where they just went to Australia?
I thought they've been to Australia before.
They have not been. Yeah, that's right.
Speaking of
other than popping into Sydney to stand in front of a car.
And speaking of Australia, what I was trying to
But
get
they
at
go
there.
into the outback.
And speaking of Australia, what I was trying to get out there was that if the record company really wanted to get the best source, they should have scoured Japan for one of those quad reels. And we'll go ahead and unmute you again there. And yeah, that's.
Well, who on me too?
You. You kept,
so
you kept cutting me off.
Of course, that's what I do.
Yeah, that is what you do.
Either that, I'm monitoring the sleepometer.
You know what you could do with that sleepometer there, Brian?
Well, okay, let's take a little poll here. How many people like the sleepometer reports?
Well, I could tell
Mars?
you. I could tell you. There's people in
Mars?
Australia that do not like the sleepometer report.
Mars?
You
Mars,
know
do you
when
like the
someone's
sleepometer?
asleep when you hear the snore.
Do you like the sleepometer report there, Mars?
It's there.
It's there. Mars is a very neutral person.
Venison, do you like my sleepometer reports?
I'm not even sure 100% of what that is.
Well, that's right. You weren't able to listen the last week that I was bringing it up, and it was just pissing Johnny off, which made it funny as hell. At least to me.
What about Neo? Neo, do you like Brian's sleepometer, or do you like Brian? Let's start with that. Neo doesn't like much of anyone, though, so it's not looking too good for you, Brian.
Well, but that could be a different topic. She might like the fact that the sleepometer pisses you off.
Well, yeah, she might. That could be.
Does that have anything to do with him getting onto a boring subject?
Exactly.
Yeah, but Brian, the problem with doing a bit that revolves around pointing out when I'm on a boring topic, anytime I'm on a boring topic, is that would monopolize the entirety of the show.
No. Yes, no. See, you missed the whole point of the sleepometer. Just kind of pops in. The sleepometer says we're at 80%. Okay, and then it's done. You get a giggle, and then you move on.
Well,
it's not a full distraction off of everything else. It's just a reminder
hopefully you
to keep
move
on a topic without boring everybody to frickin' sleep. That's all it is.
All right.
All it is.
All right. Well, speaking about sleepometers, let's talk about job opportunities in Maine.
Did we finish with the Radio Shack? Hey, Radio Shack. There you go.
You know what?
Start calling stores up there.
You know what, Brian? The sleepometer report just came in on Radio Shack, and it's off the charts.
Well, I don't know.
Does
anybody know when the bankruptcy declaration actually, what hour it actually starts?
Actually, I got one more.
Apparently, I just saw a tweet that suggested that it should be quite soon, then maybe even the next hour.
Yeah. Well, one last thing I have to say about Radio
It
Shack
was hours away.
One last thing I have to say about Radio Shack is that The Onion did a great story, which basically was about how even the CEO of Radio Shack questions how they were able to stay open this long, or why are they still open. And that I thought, even though it was a spoof article, that really summed it all up.
Yeah, I will give them. I will give it to them for this, because they're the only ones that had a DVD player that was damn decent enough for me to use here. Could have played XVID files and did picture disc quite nicely.
Yeah,
nothing else did.
Apex DVD players can do that, and you know what they are? They're shit.
I don't even. Where do I find an Apex? I don't even seen one.
Walmart. And they're really cheap, and it's a damn good thing.
Oh wait, there is an Apex. That thing.
And it's
no, it doesn't either.
And it's really good that they're cheap because you'll need to buy a new one each month.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, guess what? It didn't play XVID files.
The nice thing about Apex is they're so easy to region code.
I had one that played XVID files.
Yeah.
I had one too, and it didn't.
It played SVCDs, VCDs, slideshow, JPEGs, XVID. It was in the booklet. It did everything.
Mine plays
Not this one.
For about a month.
Mine plays, yeah.
It did everything until it didn't do anything.
Well, I got an LG here that's been working great for the past 7 years. So.
All right. So, anyways, as I mentioned last week, I had a phone interview scheduled for a job in Maine for last Friday, so
how'd that go? This is exciting.
It went well. I called the guy up. I called him because he sent me an email that basically said, "At this time, you will call me, not I will call you." So I called him, because I got into work nice. I scheduled this to be at 10 o'clock Eastern time. Why? Because then it would be 7 a.m. Pacific time, and that way I didn't even have to worry about going out to the car with my cell phone. I could just sit at my desk and because Mav doesn't come in for 7:30 the earliest, so I had plenty of time to just do this right at my desk on the office phone, and called him up and I asked, "Hey, how's it going there?" And he's like, "Well, we got a storm coming in through here and got another storm coming in a few days, and you're in California, right?" "Yes." "And you want to move here?"
You're like, yes, it's too warm. It's 68 degrees.
Well, I guess I've been away too long. We had a good laugh. It's like, I haven't, experienced
it's going
like
down
that.
to 2 tonight.
It's, so I had to, so I got to mention, I used to live there. My family's on the East Coast. I want to be closer to them. I'd like to relocate over there, and I think that's a good area. I'd like to settle down in. It was like, okay.
And don't mind the blizzard of the century every 2 years.
Yeah. The weather forecasters don't really understand the concept of what a century is.
Right.
So it's the storm of the century for this year. The annual storm of the century is what it is. That's what we should call it, the annual storm of the century. I remember when we had the rainpocalypse here a little while ago, which I just had to.
Oh, we're gonna have one tomorrow too, Gabe.
We're gonna have another rainpocalypse here. Oh my God! You know what that means? That means the phone system's gonna stop working.
No, we apparently have some pretty good storms hitting the coast. So.
Oh dear, that's gonna mess up our phones. Yeah. We're gonna be missing. Yep. Oh man, just when I got the phones working good, it's gonna rain.
Oh, well.
But anyways, so he basically went over. Well, he asked me the question, "What attracted you to this job?" And the thing is I'm not that good at preparing for interviews. I kind of go over the basic questions, but I really just kind of go in and be myself and wing it and hope for the best. And that often works well for me. I really have been very lucky because I've really not had that many job interviews, and most of them have come out positive. I mean, I graduated college, and I interviewed for a job at Walmart, and I got that. I interviewed for a bank teller job at the bank, and I got that. I moved to Maine. I interviewed for a teller job at the bank, didn't get it, but they called me back when another position opened up because they liked me. And then the IT job came up. I interviewed for that, got it. I moved out here. I think I interviewed for one other job before I interviewed for the job I currently have. So really, as far as my success rate goes, it's been pretty good. You know, but this time around is a bit more of a challenging job hunt than I've ever had before. So, but that's fine.
No
Well,
kidding.
you're coming in on a rough economy, so.
Well, the economy was getting rough when I moved out here, though. But also,
Yeah, and New Jersey's not doing so well right now.
but
Hence Johnny's going to Maine.
right. but no. So, anyways, the question they asked me that I basically had to think on my toes for was, what attracted you to this job? And now the answer, honest to that, is it's an IT job in Maine. And I could do IT, and I want to be in Maine. But I think they're looking for a more meaningful answer than that. You know, like.
Well, did you do your research on what type of anything about the job?
Well, I had the job description up, and since I was doing this at my desk, as he asked that question, I pull up the job description and I read over it to see what can jump out at me that I could talk about. And one of the things that jumped out at me at this was that they require you to get certification within a certain time frame of getting the job. That they want you to have an A+ certification within 6 months and a Microsoft Server certification within a year of joining the job. And so I said, well, one thing that stood out to me on this job was the certification requirement, because I'm always looking to further my knowledge, and I've not really had the opportunity to get certification. I've learned everything I needed to know on to do my job on the job, but I never had that paper that says I know it. So I like that this job offers me that opportunity. And that led to a conversation about how that came about. And it turns out that this company, I guess, had acquired a lot of other companies, and so they've ended up with a lot of different IT departments that have kind of been strung together. Although the way they did it, everyone had to reapply for their job, but there's still a lot of kind of different IT departments spread out, and so they're trying to consolidate things. And so part of this consolidation that has taken place they've put this requirement in place that everyone must have these certifications within this time frame, which has everyone kind of scrambling to get that.
What industry is this company, you know, without saying who the company is?
Healthcare.
What industry are they in?
Healthcare.
Oh, in healthcare, okay.
Yeah. And so for them, this is kind of an annoyance that they're scrambling to all get these certifications done, and they're offering them, unofficially, they're giving them time on the job to prepare for these things, and they're paying for the exams. And so here I am kind of saying this thing that a lot of people are finding an annoyance. Well, that really attracts me to you, and I'd like the opportunity to do that. So I think I nailed that one. And that also opened up conversation about what's currently going on there. And so that said, I can relate to that. I've gone through being acquired a few times here. And certainly we've been experiencing some of that change ourselves. So I know how that goes. And so.
Now, did you go into your current employer expresses no interest in certification, and therefore
I didn't.
You're being limited or anything like that?
I said that I not had that opportunity, but I haven't specifically said, well, my current employer specifically does not do.
Okay.
Because I'm not, to be honest, I haven't really pursued that all that much, but I've never really got the feeling that opportunity was there.
Well, some companies have this kind of head up their ass attitude that we don't want our people certified because we don't want them to be walking out the door because they have that certification.
Right. Usually, you have
now I think your current employer doesn't have that attitude, but the other hand, they're not going to encourage you to get it.
Right. That's what I think the situation is. But so anyways,
lucky you guys.
And so that was basically it. And he kind of went over the salary range, which he gave me a number that is bigger than my current number. And I know the area is a much lower cost of living area. So, those are all very good numbers that I like.
So you could move directly into a double wide.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I'm going to find a cheap rental and do some house shopping while I finish putting together. Because I do have some savings, and I'm thinking of adding and having a down payment together.
Why don't you get a camper van and do boondocking?
Maybe not. I don't have a funny answer to that, so I'm just going to say no.
How many cats can you fit in the back of an RV?
I don't really feel like finding out.
I just wondered.
We have Crazy Cat Lady the board game. That's all we need.
You can bring your RV to the parking lot. Just open the door, and the next morning
no.
it'll probably be full.
No.
There'll probably be a bum in there too.
Anyways, so
just wait until she finds the cute baby moose.
Now here's the good thing. At the end of the conversation, so we talked that, and we talked what's going on. We talked certification, and he basically, he's not the hiring manager, but he's assisting the hiring manager to kind of go through the first pass to kind of decide who's going on in the next round. And the next round is going to be testing, and he mentioned like Server 2012 testing, kind of get an idea of everyone's skill set and where they're at. So if I make it to the next round, they're going to have me do some testing. So, of course, I have downloaded instructional videos to prep for the certification exams to kind of beef up my Server 2012 and Windows 8.1 knowledge. And
when is this quiz going to happen?
Well, I asked when will I hear about going on to the next round, and he said, well, it'll probably be a few weeks. So
so you've got time to study.
Yeah. And I have been.
And
I have
move
been.
on it, yeah.
I have been. Because I am now master of my domain.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because you guys don't have any Server 12, right?
No. But I have a virtual Server 2012 now, and I have a virtual 8.1 desktop, and I made the virtual Server 2012 machine a domain controller. So now I am master of the Gators.com domain, and I've joined the 8.1 virtual workstation to that domain, and I've created a user account, Joe User, and I've created a administrator account, Jonathan Admin, so that I could use that
hard to do, is it?
Yeah, so I am now master of my domain. Of course, my domain consists of a virtual...
Now, can you master the Active
Let me get the punchline out!
Okay.
I am now master
Continue.
I am now master of my domain. Of course, my domain only consists of a server and a workstation that don't actually do anything. But I'm master of it! Okay, you can interrupt me now.
Jack of all trade and master of none.
Yeah. No, you know what's great? What I loved about this, I created it, and I opened up the Active Directory, and I created a user account, and I'm like, oh my god, I haven't done this in a few years.
Freaking easy to do, isn't it?
I miss this. I used to be a domain admin. I used to do this stuff for my job, and I don't anymore. And that's when I realized this is why I hate my job. I hate my job because those people in the other companies took away my job.
Gators, are you using Server 2012? Is that what you said?
I've created a virtual Server 2012 and made it a domain controller and joined the workstation to it. That's what I've said.
Well, no. Okay, I just wanted to make sure you're using 2012. Have you looked at any of the newer versions yet?
That is the new version.
Is that the newest one? It's 2012?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought they
This
were
is
20...
This is Microsoft. They're not exactly up on the latest number.
Right.
Oh. Okay, just wondering.
It's not like Intuit and Quicken where they have a brand new release every damn year, and
they kind of have to.
After a couple of years, your older version gets cut off, so you've got to buy the newer version. Which
actually
upgrade,
it's pretty funny.
The upgrade you can get from them actually is cheaper if you buy a brand new version from Amazon.
You know what? It's pretty funny, Brian. Every year, my mom buys TurboTax, right? When I cleaned off her old computer, she had like 8 versions of TurboTax on her laptop. I was like, "Holy crap! You don't need all these." She goes, "Well, I might need them." I'm like, "Let me just import the date. Wait, the data's imported to the newest one, right?" She goes, "Yeah." Delete the rest. I think she got rid of like 6 to 8 gigs of data just doing that.
Which
isn't that? I mean it's all bloatware. Yeah, absolutely.
It's bloatware. It's pretty funny.
And I take it you uninstalled the older versions.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I did.
Yeah, you don't need to keep older versions, particularly 3 years. Anything beyond 3 years you don't need to keep.
So anyway, that's how that went. And the thing is at the end of the phone conversation, the guy said, "Well, I don't think I need to ask you this, but I'm going to ask anyway." No, he said, "I think I already know the answer to this, but after this conversation, are you still interested in this job?" And I said, "Yes, I am." "Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you very much." And the thing is that's good that I left him with the impression that, yeah, this guy is interested in this job. And when I told Nick that at lunch later on that day, Nick said, well, that's definitely good, and because Nick apparently is hired in the past. And I kind of found myself feeling sorry for anyone that showed up for an interview with that guy. But
did you ask the people trying to hire you if you need to wear pants to work?
I did not ask that. But I did say.
Let's go back to what Nick was saying again.
Well, Nick was saying that about half the times when he interviewed someone, he had no idea if the person was even interested in the job at the end of the interview. And so, that's definitely a good thing that you want to leave them with the impression that you're actually interested in the job. So I'm like, well, success.
In fact,
I did that.
we interviewed this guy that he had worked with before.
Uh-huh.
And at the end of the interview, it's kind of like, that guy doesn't even want this job. Why did he even come?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It was very weird.
I don't understand why you would go to that trouble, because it's not like interviews are fun. Does anyone really like?
Well, unless he had an unemployment deal where, unemployment compensation where he had to apply for a job.
Yeah.
Periodically to keep the money flowing in.
That's the only thing I can think
I don't know. I really just don't know what his deal was. Maybe he thought, maybe I'll be interested. We'll just see.
Yeah,
and then when he got there, he really wasn't interested.
Well, because it doesn't hurt to apply to something, even if you're not completely sure it's really what you want. But then when you actually go to make time to dress up and go to an interview, usually you're at least somewhat interested and will express at least a moderate amount of interest. But to just be like...
Yeah. Now, I mean, he was having fun, day trading and shit like that. He didn't seem to need a job, so... Yeah, so his want level was pretty low.
I see. He was just interviewing for shits and giggles.
I really don't know. If I were to go back, I would have thrown that question right then. Did you actually want this job? Or I get the feeling no.
And that
because the guy could have been just in some kind of a mood, or he could have been high. Who the hell knows?
I mean, because that is a fair question. It is fair to ask at the end, because when you're narrowing things down, you may as well ask at the end. Go, now after this conversation, and you've learned more about the job, are you still interested in this position? Very, very good question. That's
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the flip side, it was clear that he actually would have been kind of nice to work with because he was easygoing and stuff like that. That was cool. I would have liked to work with the guy, but
he didn't want to work with you. Maybe that's what it is.
If that's the case.
He wanted the job until he met you.
That could be.
That could be.
Although he had already worked with Nick, so.
Well, that's kind of the first warning sign right there.
Right.
This person has worked for Nick, so right there you got to question, the sanity of the. I kid. Nick's a good guy.
Well, that was my deflection. That's all.
I see. All right.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that's where that's going. So I'm beefing up and the thing is I'm doing these trainings on Server 2012, and it really turns out that I pretty much know a lot of the stuff that I'm going over.
A future. Now, did you already have this the virtual server set up, or?
I set that up. Once I got off the phone, I was like, well, I'm going to need to beef up my knowledge for the testing. So that night, I went looking for study guides.
So what I'll say is, in your next interview, you could bring up that, oh yeah, my shop is on, Windows NT, but I am on the latest technology because I have my own virtual server 2012 running with a workstation, and describe that setup because you want to keep up with the latest technology.
Right. Yeah, I'll mention, we're on Server 2000. The company I'm with is on Server 2003. Our parent company's using Server 2008, so I've touched on that a bit. But I have been, studying in 2012, made a virtual server just to keep up with the technology.
Right, exactly.
I support Windows 7, but I've been, and actually I'm thinking now that I'm playing around with Server 2012 and as familiar with it as I am with 2008 and 2003, And same with 8.1. I think I probably should bring up my resume.
Oh, by the way,
bring up my resume. Brian, it's polite to let someone at least finish the sentence.
For the humor,
okay, you're getting muted if you come in the middle of a sentence. Let me finish my fucking sentence. Then interrupt me. At least interrupt me in between sentences. I'm thinking that I should probably add Server 2012 and Windows 8.1 to my resume as things I'm familiar with now that I've actually taken time to learn them and be familiar with them. Pause for interruption.
Is the company still running that Windows NT? Yeah.
What, the website?
Is that on NT? I don't remember.
The ordering website? Yeah, that's on NT, and that's where it's going to be forever.
Yeah. Right. I was thinking that was still running.
Yeah. Well, they'd have to build a whole new site.
I liked NT4.
There was no way that they had to build a whole new website, and that's a major undertaking. And we can't even get anyone to make any decisions on. I mean, I don't know what's happening.
I forget. Does Windows NT still show any 3-com screens?
I don't know.
You don't even know what 3-com is, do you?
It's a company, right?
Well, was a company. Essentially, Windows NT, all the server-side stuff, was built on 3-com stuff. So Microsoft ripped off 3-com and built Windows NT.
Oh. Figures.
Yeah.
And
in fact, all the network commands, if you looked into them, would say 3-com in them.
Well, I think Bill Gates was once quoted as saying that you can find great code at college dumpsters, or something to that effect. So yeah, that
actually you can.
Oh no doubt.
That sounds like exactly the type of thing Microsoft would do.
Especially right in the middle of Silicon Valley.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have to even go that far. Go to a college dumpster. You just go to a nearby dumpster.
Yeah, do a little dumpster diving. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. I'm studying up, and hopefully I'll make it to the next round and test. I'm hoping so, but who knows? It sounds like there's a lot of candidates. If they got someone assisting the hiring manager to weed through them, and cuts are going to be made. And
now in this interview, did this guy seem to express any questions about your knowledge of the healthcare industry?
No.
Because I have had interviews in an IT position where the guy is very concerned that you understand
their industry.
That different industry is like, I'm sorry, what does that matter? I'm going to be, flipping switches and writing code and stuff like that, and it doesn't matter what industry that you're in. I don't care.
Right. Well, he did
not.
In
fact, I worked at a place where the question is, I don't care that you make atomic weapons. It doesn't matter.
I'll just tell me where you need that button installed and what you need me to program the button to do.
Yeah.
And just let me put a little backdoor in there to text me when that button's pushed, so I know when I need to kiss my butt goodbye.
That's right. That's right. When to head for that underground shelter.
Little alarm goes off on your phone. Oh, hey guys, Armageddon's coming. Been nice knowing you. Little perk.
So did you hear about? I guess it was yesterday. Netflix went down for about an hour, and it was a hard crash. Did you guys hear about this?
It took out everything.
I mentioned something. I saw a news story about it, and I didn't click on it because I really didn't care. But
the funny thing.
Yeah, but divorce
Twitter,
lawyers were rubbing their hands in anticipation.
The funny thing is that Twitter went crazy because people are saying, "Hey, Netflix is down. Has the end of the world come?"
I wonder how many 911 calls were made as a result of that.
Oh, God. I don't know. Is it Facebook status? That's the question. Facebook
how many domestic incidents there were?
What if Facebook and Netflix went down at the same time? I think the internet would break at that point.
A couple weeks ago, Gators, it was Facebook, Instagram, and I wanted to say Tinder went down at the exact same time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it was a mess. Twitter exploded.
Hilarious. Yes.
Well,
People were running outside of their houses, showing cat pictures of random strangers.
I guess it's a good thing I don't really care.
Oh, that's a good one, Venison. That's hilarious.
Go analog, huh? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of Armageddon, oh my God, them Chinese food farts smell weird.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
That's the problem with dumpster
Nobody
diving.
wants to know.
Well, too bad. I'll let you know anyway.
That's the problem with dumpster diving for Chinese food.
And we wonder why this guy can't get a job.
Well, if they order from the same place, they won't notice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Damn it, Venison. Sometimes you just need to...
Chinese restaurant dumpster.
Sometimes you just need to keep your gas to yourself, Venison?
There's a lot of things he needs to keep to himself.
Anyways, Mars sent me a link to a news story about a man that was busted for shoplifting.
There's no love for fart jokes. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, man busted for shoplifting on a motorized shopping cart.
I know! That was awesome!
You need to have a better getaway vehicle than a motorized shopping cart.
Freaking awesome!
A man on a motorized shopping cart managed to stand up and run away when security guards tried to stop him from shoplifting. Oh, so it was it was a diversion. Oh, this guy, we got easy. We'll catch him easy. It's like, hey, surprise! I can walk.
Bastard.
And it looks like he tried to steal.
Did they catch him?
Yeah, they caught him, and he tried to steal 4 tubes of toothpaste, 2 things of Dove deodorant, a bunch of Axe deodorant, and a bunch of packages of condoms.
At least he would smell better. It's hygienically stolen.
It sounds like he was trying to get him some. He was trying to make himself presentable, good
I'm
breath,
just saying,
good smell.
Yeah.
If they're gonna steal
Axe
something,
deodorant and condoms. He was trying to get laid.
Yeah, he was totally trying to get laid.
So getting caught just ruined his date.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Poor guy just wants to get. You know what? Security guard told that's a cock block right there. Stopping the guy from shoplifting deodorant and condoms. That's a cock block. This guy was totally cock blocked by security.
Yeah.
Well, what a bummer.
At least he was shoplifting hygienically.
Yeah. He wasn't. Come on, he wasn't trying to steal a TV or a game system, or just trying to get some deodorant and condoms. How desperate you got to be shoplifting deodorant and condoms?
4 tubes of toothpaste?
And tubes of toothpaste.
Wait, what's he going to do with the tubes of toothpaste?
Well, you want to have good breath.
Yeah, that's what he's going to use it for.
But let's see. Neo sent us a bunch of links. Let's see which one of hers looks good. Oh, here we go. Let's look at the 90s. 17 things all 90s kids have forgotten about until now. If you are a child of the internet, you probably know by now that Surge has made a resurgence. Really? Really?
Blech.
I never cared for Surge. It was okay the first few times I had it, but then it got old real fast.
Yeah, you're right. Surge or Squirt better.
All right, Pocket Pikachu. Wait.
The Tamagotchis!
Well, yeah,
that was awesome.
This one's called Pocket Pikachu, but no, Tamagotchis predated Pikachu.
No. That Nintendo made a Pikachu Tamagotchi later on, a year after they came out in the U.S.
Right. Let's see.
Yeah.
Moon Shoes. I do not remember Moon Shoes.
Good balance. They're bouncy shoes.
Jello. Yeah, nobody really wanted to.
Jello cheesecake cups. Now I remember Jello made cheesecake, which was god awful. But
they made cheesecake in a cup.
They did. It's like the pudding cups.
Where the hell was I?
Yeah, I missed this one. Light up yo-yos. I remember those.
I had one of those. I have a couple of those.
Those are actually pretty crappy because having a battery in a yo-yo throws the balance off. You can't really do good tricks with a light up yo-yo. I also had a Duncan yo-yo that would play music. That was in the butterfly shape.
Tune one.
Yeah.
Oh, played the Duncan song, right?
Yeah, played the Duncan song. The Duncan yo-yo. Platform Sketchers. I don't remember those. I don't remember any of these.
Those.
Paper fortune tellers. Well, that predates the 90s. That's just a childhood school thing.
I remember doing that when I was in elementary school.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was doing that in the 80s, and I think it predates
they
that
did that
too.
In the 70s too.
Yeah, Milky pens. I never had those, but I remember seeing those.
Those were a rage when I was growing up. Milky
What?
pens.
I've never heard of it.
They're pastel pens.
Right.
Lucy?
Emily writes in. Emily writes in. I had a Pocket Pikachu, and it did stuff with my Pokemon Gold game.
Oh.
Let's see.
Lucy?
Dream Phone. Dream Phone was like if Clue had a baby with all the soap operas. Goal was to find out which fictional dude had a crush on you. Oh, this is a chick game, isn't it? Light Bright. Well, Light Bright predates the 90s too, but we had a Light Bright.
Yeah.
Creepy Crawlers. Oh yeah, I had those.
Yeah.
First,
but the Wacky Wall Walkers. I love those things from the 80s.
The first thing you figured out how to do was to uninstall that door that would drop down, keeping you from actually taking the creepy crawler out until the oven had cooled down for a long time. That was the first thing you did. And then that way, once it was done, you could just pull the hot tray right out, and that's okay because you had a tray of water to drop it in.
Sure.
Well, no. Now,
right.
Well, no, because creepy crawlers actually existed before that time. Because I think they had like I don't know. My mom had mentioned that when they were younger, they had something like that. And and when you took it out of the oven, you dropped it in the tray of water that came with it. It would kind of make a shh sound, like a sizzle sound of the hot tray being cooled by the cool water. But being that I grew up in the age of sissies, where they, had all safety features to prevent you from having a metal tray that could give you a mild burn if you accidentally touched it, by the time you took it out of the oven and put it in the tray of water, it was pretty much already cool, and there was no sizzle sound effect. So we figured out that if we just, disabled that door that dropped down, we could take it out hot, put it in the tray of water, and get the sizzle sound that our mom told us that she used to experience when she was a kid. So we could have the experience of having a minor risk of burning our fingers if we did not drop this in the water properly.
There's a reason it's safety gators.
Well, it was not a problem. Inflatable chairs. Now, this I did not have one of, but that was
You didn't
cool.
have an inflatable chair? They're awesome.
No,
I had a couch.
No, I had a real chair.
Yeah.
Because I actually had
real chairs.
I actually had a piece of furniture
chairs.
chair in my bedroom, which was great because I could, if you ran out of room putting stuff under the bed, then I could put stuff under the chair, and behind the chair because it was in the corner. Well, no, and it was actually thanks to my sister that I had a chair in my room because at some point we bought new furniture for the family room, and so the old furniture at some point I think it made its way to the porch, then it made its way to the garage, then it made its way to a landfill. But the old chair went up into my youngest sister's bedroom, so that when my mom would have to get up in the middle of the night to feed her, there was a chair there to sit down in, since we had this spare furniture chair that we could put up there. And so at some point when we played musical rooms, I got the room, and I said, hey, just leave the chair there. I'd like to have that chair. So, it was great to have this, furniture chair in my bedroom to sit in and, So I didn't need an inflatable chair. I had a real chair. Emily writes in, ooh, I had an inflatable bubble handbag and backpack.
Ooh, you go, Emily.
Rice Krispie Treat cereal. Oh, yeah, that was the stuff.
And they still have that.
In the 80s, they had marshmallow Rice Krispies.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah. Butterfinger BBs. Oh, they also used to have Frosted Rice Krispies for a while. Those were really good.
Butterfinger BBs.
I just remember the Simpsons commercials for them. I never actually got Butterfinger BBs.
Store around here had them, but wasn't interested.
Reptar Crunch. Not familiar with that. It was a breakfast cereal, I guess. Coppertone Kids Color Block. Color sunscreen. Okay. Electronic dictionaries. Well, don't really need that anymore. The Aladdin LCD game. Oh, that's just a handheld game. I remember handheld games. I don't remember that specific one. Oh, yeah, that was a fun trip down memory lane. And Venison wants to tell us about you want to sprint home to save your kids after seeing these 13 toys of death. Well, let's see.
Yeah, these could actually kill you.
Let's see. Magnetics. What is this? Bunch of small parts, I guess.
I remember that.
Yeah, little magnets that would stick together.
Oh, nothing dangerous there.
Actually, there was.
Trampolines. Oh, come on. Trampolines are fun. You just got to be careful.
Yeah, you're a kid. Whoever heard of being careful?
Well, that's why you got the safety net around it.
Now.
Emily writes in, "You're too old, Reptar." You know, I have a funny trampoline story. My next door neighbors had a trampoline, and I remember my parents went over to talk to the neighbor, the father, Mr. Kozon, and they're talking to him, and the oldest kid of the Kozons, Jimmy, was jumping on the trampoline, and something, he said, "Hey, want to watch me do a flip?" And I'm like, "Yeah, cool, do a flip." And Mr. Kozon's like, "No, don't do a flip. That's not safe. Don't do any flips." And so he's talking to my parents, and he's got his back to the trampoline, but me and my parents are facing the trampoline. And sure enough, he goes up in the air, does a flip, comes down and lands, and we all start laughing. And he turns around, and he's like, "Did you flip?" And he's like, No, man, no. And so he turns around, faces us, he does another flip, and we start laughing again. And Mr. Kozon's like, "Tell me, is he flipping?" And my parents just kind of smiled, and they wouldn't say yay or nay to whether he was. And he does another flip, and we laugh again. And he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to have to keep my eye on him." And he was not happy with us for not ratting out his son right in front of him. But it was just so funny. Every time he turned around, he did a flip. So, let's see. Austin Magic Pistol. The Austin Magic Pistol is a perfect example of how toy safety has changed over the years.
That thing.
A literal hand cannon somehow made it to the store shelves and was sold to kids in the late 1940s. This toy included...
Where can I get one of these? I want one of these. I want a hand cannon.
It included a supply of calcium carbide, which explodes when mixed with water. It fired ping-pong balls out of the gun at high speeds, but it created a dangerous fireball in the process.
Nice.
It's only dangerous.
Yeah, man.
It's only dangerous if you don't use it right. Wago Kite Tube. What? The Wago Kite Tube sounds like a ton of fun until you're suddenly plummeting down to your tube. Wait a minute. This is
that thing.
An inflatable tube that floats up in the air on a string that you could actually grab onto and go up with. It's like a kite big enough that you could go up in the air with it. That seems... Yeah, that's a bit of a safety hazard. Sky dancers. Those are just like helicopter whirly whirl things. Yeah. I don't see the danger.
Yeah, who knew?
I've seen those. Those are from the 80s.
They tend to fly right into the faces of unsuspecting children. There are around 150 reported injuries. You're just being stupid if you got hurt by that.
You basically pull the ripcord and the little arms flap up and they fly up in the sky. That's all they really do.
Fisher Price Power Wheels motorcycle.
I love that.
No, that thing. There was a design defect.
Yeah. The accelerator pedal would often get stuck and send kids flying into walls at high speed. Other than that, it was perfectly safe. Jarts.
Oh, yes. Yes, lawn darts. You throw them up the air, you run like hell.
Heavy and sharp. Yeah, lawn darts.
Gators, have you ever played with jarts?
I have not played with jarts.
I used to play with jarts all the time when I was younger. It's basically, they're like darts.
No.
They're super heavy. You throw them way up in the air, and you run to hell because you're afraid they're going to hit you in the head.
If we wanted to play...
You'll poke your eye out.
If we wanted to play an unusual sport in our backyard, that's what we had a bowling ball for.
You'll poke your brain out.
Yeah, you basically poke your brain out.
We actually had one day, one morning, wake up, get dressed, go outside to play, and there's this big black ball on our front yard, and I'm like, what?
Bonus.
What the? And I go, and sure enough, it's a bowling ball. This bowling ball mysteriously showed up in our front yard, and it either belonged to someone named Ira or someone with the initials IRA. And I didn't know anyone named Ira or with those initials. So we couldn't return the bowling ball to its rightful owner. And so we rolled the bowling ball around the yard. And, it was great. Go in the backyard and practice throwing the bowling ball, maybe set up a bucket or something to aim at. And even my dad took a liking to throwing the bowling ball around the backyard. And our dog Banshee took a liking to chasing after the bowling ball and trying to retrieve it and being plowed over by this bowling ball. That didn't stop her. All you had to do was bring it out and roll a little bit. She'd be barking and run after it. And if you threw it, she went running after it. The fact that this thing was a big, heavy thing that could run her right over did not stop her from chasing it every time. And when Banshee passed away and we buried her in the backyard, we used the bowling ball to mark her grave, which we thought was fitting.
Nice.
So,
do you ever once try to bounce a bowling ball?
Yeah, they bounce. They
bounce.
Apparently, well, when you go for that big gutter ball, it usually does a bounce as it goes, before it hits the gutter.
Well, I know every now and then, you when you're at a bowling alley, you run into that one person in the lane next to you that does the Fred Flintstone flop with their bowling ball. Where they throw it straight out in front of them and don't lean over, and the thing kind of flies out and conk right down on the lane. And
oh yeah, they palm it and they lick it.
Every time she would throw it out, and it would just go bam right down on the lane and start rolling. Like, who taught you how to bowl?
No, this is a way a lot of people bowl. They palm it. A lot of these guys are pretty good. That's the scary part.
Yeah. Oh, then we have the Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Lab. There we go. Great toy for children.
Classic.
Radioactive materials included.
Nice.
The gift of radiation poisoning. Why not?
Build a nuclear reactor in your own room.
Aquadots.
These came back.
You'd think that a company would make sure its product is non-toxic when it's marketed for kids. For whatever reason, Spin Master skipped that phase of testing when they made Aquadots. I've heard of Aquadots, but what do they actually do? What are they? Beads that stick together. The beads contain highly toxic chemicals that was used as a date rape drug. Oh, that was for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emily writes in, bowling ball plus trampoline equals win.
Oh, Gators, you should have tried that.
I should have brought over to the neighbor's place and broke their trampoline and made my parents have to buy them a new one.
No, you go to the second store, you drop a bowling ball on top.
Easy bake oven.
Yeah, that's
yes.
Once again, you just have to make a little door that would come down and you just defeat that. I mean, that's like creepy crawler. The easy bake oven was about as dangerous as creepy crawlers.
Oh, this is like a 60-watt.
No, you got a lot of burns from it.
Not if you do it right. If you got
Again, we're talking kids. When have they ever done anything right?
If you got
burned, stuck a 100-watt light bulb in that thing.
If you got burned, you're an idiot. Cabbage Patch snack time, kids. Because the thing would suck in the fake food, and I guess they would suck your finger in. Oh, I see. People get their hair caught in it, apparently.
And it would still keep going. There was no on-off switch on it.
Oh, because it would wait until it got to
hair caught in it. What are you doing, sticking your head in the mouth of the baby? What?
It wasn't timed to, this is how long it needs to be on to pull the food in. It was, as long as there's something in my mouth, I am sucking. That is what the thing would do. And so if your hair, it would get to your scalp, and I'd keep trying to rip your hair out of your scalp until it finished eating your hair. That is how that would work. Colossal water balls. A toy that expands many times its original size when exposed to water. Oh, it was one of those things that you soak in water and it would grow. But apparently these were small enough that you could swallow them. And then it would expand in your digestive system, and yeah, that's real fun.
And it couldn't be removed without surgery.
Ooh. Sky Rangers Park Flyer radio-controlled airplanes. Oh, why not? Yeah, just fly a plane right into your friend's head. Or your own, if you...
Yeah, but wait. What's wrong with a remote control airplane? I mean, come on.
These planes tend to explode. Nearly 50 injury reports were received, mentioning results like hearing loss, minor burns, and eye injuries.
After all, exploding planes, it's fine. They're just
more realistic,
retracting real events.
All right. Well, anyways, on that note, it's time for me to get another mug of coffee.
Oh, I need coffee. I'll be back.
So, he's not even gonna wait for the official. Let's go to break. He's just
I'm going to heat up this what's left of this Chinese food.
He's yeah. That's well. Since you're far away from us, that's perfectly fine. All right. So we're gonna go to a break. We're gonna come back with more news, more Radio Shack, more interruptions from Brian about the sleepometer, and all those great things that you just love listening to the show for. So stay tuned and
exploding easy bake ovens.
Yeah, we'll be back. Let's play a little. You know what? Last week we played some Brambles. We're gonna play some more Brambles this week. This one is called Flesh and Blood.
Have you ever wondered why people are in such a hurry just to do nothing? We live in a world where everybody's in a hurry. It doesn't have to be that way. I always say slow down, take it easy, take a little time to see what's going on. Funny thing is, some people say I can't afford the time to listen to the Dude and Bob show. I have to ask you this. Can you afford not to?
The following takes place between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Events occur in real time.
Sundays on NHBRadio.com.
Crater Maker. Crater Maker. www.cratermakerband.com. EP now available on iTunes, Amazon, CD Baby, and Bandcamp.
Oh no, 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 you got that wrong. I love balls.
Balls, all you need are balls. To succeed are balls, all you need are balls. All you need are balls. To succeed are balls, all you need are.
Be sure to tune in to ADHD Radio, Tuesdays, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The most migga motherfucking addicting show on the No Holds Barred Radio Network.
Balls, all you need are balls. To succeed are balls, all you need are balls. All you need are balls. To succeed are balls, all you need are.
And we're back with more coffee and more show and more topics and more Brian interruptions right here.
What?
On the
when
No
does that
Holds
happen?
Barred.
Has that happened before?
That happens all the time. I don't know. I'm almost expecting it to happen right now. I'm amazed I got that whole sentence out.
Brian's still trying to take a pee, I bet.
Probably.
Yeah.
No, but I tell you what's really cool. When you buy the Blu-ray editions of Yes albums that have come out, they come with instrumental versions of the entire albums.
Oh, really?
Which is great for coming back for break music here. So, you know.
Is that licensed?
It's background music that we're talking over. I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, probably not fine, but no one's showed up my door to
Well,
arrest
we're
me
talking
yet.
over it, so they can't really get it, right?
Well, I'm sure someone could not recognize. And of course, I had to come back from break with Yes music in the background, since we were talking about Rick Wakeman
Yes.
Rick Wakeman earlier. And of course, this is particularly fitting because this is from before Rick Wakeman joined the band, thus having absolutely nothing to do with him. So,
that works.
So I fail.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. I would never have known unless you said something, Gator.
That's okay.
More than usual.
That's okay because.
Okay, can I interrupt now?
Go for it.
So why didn't
Late.
anybody say they're tearing down Candlestick Park now? Today.
Yeah.
Oh, they are?
Haven't they
I
been
didn't
doing
know
that for like
was happening.
6 months? Yeah.
No, I didn't know. You guys didn't mention it, man. Hey, you know, I'm relying on you guys to tell the news.
I don't know anything about Candlestick Park. I don't really care about baseball. But
yeah, I live in the Northeast. You know, nobody cares about them.
Yeah, well, it's one of the classic parks. That's the only point of Candlestick Park.
And who plays there?
Park. Well, nobody does anymore. That's why they're turning
Well,
it down.
I'm saying, what baseball team played there?
Well, it's been a while, but the Giants used to play there. The 49ers used to play there.
Wait, the stick.
Oh, all right. This just
Absolutely.
in. Candlestick Park torn down. There we go.
Yeah.
Being torn down. It is actively happening right now.
Do they have a...
It's okay. I heard a bunch of old people stole a bunch of chairs from there. seats from it.
Oh.
They stole?
Yeah, they stole them.
Yeah, they
said, you know what? This is the last game. They took them. They were walking out with them.
Yeah, they wanted to then sell them to the American pickers.
I see.
They were helping the deconstruction crews.
Absolutely.
So they didn't try to sell them, because didn't they do that for Yankee Stadium when they tore it down? They sold the seats.
They did try.
Exactly. That's what they should have done. Yeah.
I don't know if they did, but old people stole them too. So.
Oh, why not?
And I mean old people as in 70 or 80 years old. It was pretty funny.
Oh, why not? Who's going to arrest a 70 or 80-year-old? Well, someone probably would, but...
Nowadays, they would.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But, all right. There you go. Being torn down. No, do they have, a webcam up so you can watch it being torn down, or...
I just saw a news story.
No, it's actually kind of sad, because it's been around for quite a while, and it'll always be the stick. But what I think they should have done,
you had the old parks. You had Yankee Stadium, which is gone, right?
Right.
You have Fenway Park, which is still there. You have Wrigley Field. These are the classic old stadiums, and Candlestick. A lot of the other ones are gone.
Piece by piece. Take a look. Candlestick.
Of course, I open up a link that starts playing, but hey, we got a call on the line.
Who is it?
So I had this headache.
Yeah.
Oh, dude! I heard you had a headache. I heard you had a headache Sunday morning.
Hey, dude, have you recovered from your hangover yet?
I think finally, yes.
Yeah, you see, Emily was
Once
busy.
Again, doing it wrong.
Dune is taken to consuming the same amount of beer that I would normally drink at a Saturday night in about a third of the
Dude
time.
did pretty good, though.
But
honestly, dude, I think you did pretty good. You did, 7 beers in 6 hours?
Oh, no, 6 weren't. 6, I did the 6.
You
and
did
I
6
thought,
in 2 hours.
Yeah, and I figured I'd go ahead and throw 2 more on top of that.
8 beers in 7 hours. Yeah, all I know is
6 hours.
When I went to bed, which was after you were doing 6 hours of radio, you were still going. And you were repeating. You played Boogie Oogie Oogie twice. You played.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You played that Tears for Fears song twice.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I had to point that out that you were.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
You were repeating songs.
Yeah. Now I know why I always see people writing stuff down.
That helps.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay, because Emily once played the same song twice in a row. So.
Oh, okay. I don't feel so bad then. Yeah, I realized I got to the point where it was like, I'm really reaching now.
Yeah.
Trying to find stuff. So it almost ended up, I was like, no. And then if the other song was ending, I would just, whatever the next one I landed on, that's the one you heard.
Yeah.
It's new to me.
Yeah. Why not? No, but yeah, you went pretty late because Emily and I didn't go on. So you decided, well, I'll just keep going until you didn't want to. And you found out how easy it is to go for hours and hours and hours.
It is. Well, it didn't. There was a couple of people on Vaughn that kept egging me on, so that helped a little bit.
Oh, that helps. That helps. But, time flies when you're having fun. Next thing you know, holy crap, I've done 6 hours.
I didn't realize you were Vaughn. I would have gone over there and not watched because, well,
yeah, and I didn't have any bandwidth, so I couldn't.
Strangely, I was going to say, it actually sounds pretty good on Vaughn. It really does. It's 128.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound bad at all. There was actually, that's one thing that's kind of cool.
Well, for a stream.
For a stream, yeah.
But, no, that's you had a fun old time there. And I think Emily's got a list that she's putting together for this Saturday, so you could just do your standard 2 hours. And
yes, I'll do my little list.
If you're going to do 8 beers again, you're going to have to squeeze it in.
No. Well, that's the whole thing. Is I kind of backed it off, and I didn't actually finish number 6 until probably at least hour 3 or 4. But I was just like, well, now I'm still kind of thirsty. I'm out of beer. I go, I got this idea. There's still these 2 blue moons that are in there. They're just sitting there doing nothing.
May as well tidy up while you're.
Might as well just 8
beers in one night.
Dude
what could go wrong?
Just me at 3. He goes, I'm not going to be happy in the morning.
Yeah, because this is not going to be good.
No.
Well, the amazing thing, like I told Johnny, I was very impressed with myself that Johnny and I both have automatic driving skills, at least not car related, but show related, that somehow, even in our drunken stupors, we're able to actually shut everything down properly.
Yeah.
I figured what would happen is you would wake up to dead silence on the Wild Bunch streams the next morning.
and wake up to the next morning where Mrs. Dune goes, is that light on the webcam mean that you streamed us sleeping all night?
Yeah, pretty much. But that didn't happen, so that was pretty good.
Yeah. That was now. Did Mrs. Dune have anything to say to you the next morning?
Oh no, she just kind of gave me that look and shook her head.
Because I remember the last time you got very drunk on the vodka for the Telethon show. What was her comment the next morning? Was, "Are you done?" Or was it? Was that her comment after the show?
No, I think that was after the show.
After the show, are you, so after that show, she was probably fast asleep though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she was out. She was gone.
Sleeping somewhere other than the bedroom because you were.
Yeah, she was in she goes in the spare bedroom when I have those all night stupors, which thank goodness doesn't happen very often. So.
Yeah. Well, that works out good.
But yeah, it was interesting. I'd never done that before, and I don't know if I ever want to do it again. But now at least now I know I know it can be done.
Now you know. Now you've done it. You've done the 6-hour show. Emily writes in. Emily writes in, Dune, is there a way to get the recording of your show? I didn't realize you kept
on.
Oh,
my goodness.
And cover
I have it, yeah.
All right, we'll have to throw that
it exists.
Throw that like on the FTP or something, and we can give her a link or something. So yeah, that was...
It's kind of interesting for us. I'm going like... It sounds sort of like that. Next up... But I have done a few changes. I ended up I realized that I need to label things. What it is, I have everything still labeled like as my mixer's been forever. Well, I've changed so many things to do the music show that I have to kind of remember what things are, and that's fine on Beer 3. But without visual aids, it gets a little dicey.
By Beer 8, we're hearing the 2 for bonus, which is 2 songs simultaneously.
Or my other trick that I learned that I do is by loading a song into a player that's already playing. That's another good one I've learned.
Oh yeah.
And so
you really didn't want to hear the rest of that song anyways.
I was tired. I even played that. Yeah, I was tired listening to that song.
Yeah, that's what the first half of that one sounds like. Now here's the first half of this one.
But no, I've now labeled everything and put little stickers where the cues are and stuff. So hopefully that'll help a little bit.
Yeah.
It actually turned out pretty cool after I got everything all set up. I actually have 4. Actually 5. I have 5 different things that I could actually play, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I'll have to. Yeah. We'll see. I don't know what next week's theme will be. It'll be whatever I can find that maybe I haven't played yet.
But one thing I gotta say is that Dune watches my Twitter account, because today I get a message from Dune going, "Did they really put an 8-track tape recording out on a DVD?"
Well, that even shocked me a little bit.
Well, it turns out it was actually a record. Someone else had heard a rumor that it came from the 8-track, but it was really from the record, which is still, it's an SQ record with a script decoding, which is pretty, I would have preferred the 8-track.
It makes you wonder, how hard did they really look for those tapes?
I'm wondering, apparently they did do a fair amount of looking, but in my opinion, they didn't do enough looking. Because they didn't find the tapes. They did enough looking when they found the tapes.
How many things like that are lost?
The problem is that there's really not... Labels are not good at organizing these things. When it comes to doing a reissue and finding the tapes, it turns into, going into deep storage of stuff that's not labeled that well, that's not organized that well, and spending, hours and hours of time digging through different things, seeing what you can find, and then going through what you dig out of storage to queue them up to see if what's on the tapes is actually what's labeled on the box. And Like, for example, when they decided they wanted to remaster the U-Log in high def from the original film print, they found the film print in a canister that had a label on it that it was a episode of The Honeymooners that had another label on it that said Fireplace. And since they were looking for the U-Log and this canister of a Honeymooners episode had Fireplace scribbled on another label, they figure, well, let's see what's in this canister, and they cue it up, and sure enough, it's the original film print of the U-Log. So
it's just those little pesky details. It's always that way.
Nowadays there's probably more effort put into storing things in a more organized and a better labeled manner. But back in the day, once you were done with your master, there wasn't much thought given to when we're going to need to pull this up again. We've made our copies. We've made our we finished mixing this. We've made our duplication masters. Store this, and when are we ever going to need to dig this out again? Whatever, we'll worry about that then. It'll be someone else's problem at that point. And nowadays, going into these storage areas, like I was asking about trying to get certain tapes for overdubbing sessions for Milton Babbitt Philomel, and when I asked about that, their comment was, well, all the stuff is in deep storage. It costs us money just to get into the storage to pull things out. We have to actually pay someone to go into the storage area, and then we got to pay people money to spend the day looking through things. And so if you got like $20,000 you want to put up to find tapes, and even then there's no guarantee to put it up. Hey, go ahead and send us the money. So that's really what it comes down to. Is
wow,
it's money. It all comes down to money.
Well, that's the whole thing. Storage is expensive. There's no doubt about it.
But, I have a thought that the thing is that there are tapes they probably have, and there are tapes they probably know the locations on. So it's like, okay, hold off on the Rick Wakeman reissue, and, if the tapes turn up, then do that. But if you got a quad tape or something else, why aren't we reissuing that instead? And I understand that, because some people say, hey, I'm glad to buy a DVD of the best source that they have. But the thing is there are amateurs like myself and Oxford Dickey and Bob Romano that are doing these things. And, okay, that's not legitimate, and the label probably doesn't want to promote that. But what if the label worked with us to allow legitimate sharing of our amateur conversions? Maybe do some kind of a, download store that you could join for a monetary fee to pay for the storage and the bandwidth, and have it based on the purchase of a legitimate stereo copy. Like, if you can prove you own a stereo copy of this, you could download this amateur conversion, and people can submit their amateur conversions. Because clearly they're already talking to the amateurs. They talked to Oxford Dickey, and they put this out there. Why not do this? Taking this conversion, throwing it on a disc, not actually labeling it as an amateur conversion, and selling it as a deluxe package with a premium price was a pretty bad way to go about it.
Well, I was going to say, be mad listening to a Blu-ray going or something like that.
Right. And it was a well-done conversion, I will say that. But still, and the thing is apparently there are people within Universal that have acknowledged that they made a mistake not announcing the source of this, that they did that they should have announced that. I don't think it was intentional misleading. I think they had good intentions of, well, we can't find the master, let's do the best we can, but they didn't, for some reason, the thought didn't occur to them, maybe we should give a heads up. Because I think the mentality is that 99% of the people that buy this disc are buying it for the stereo, and the quad is an afterthought. But then you have...
You're probably right. They just put it on and go, ooh.
Right. But then there are those of us that are buying it for the quad, that is the focus point. And for those people, they need to be upfront about that.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
You get the people like me that can't hear the difference, and the ones like you that can.
Yeah. But I will say that...
Although I'm working on it.
I will say that, they might have been better off going with an 8-track than the SQ record, because I will say my 8-track copy of it's a pretty damn good sounding 8-track tape. I might have to bring up the Fostex and get that in working order again.
Oh no.
So
I heard your interview went okay.
Yeah, it was
It's kind of a wait and see. That's cool.
Yeah, hopefully it went okay enough. Well, the one thing is the guy that was interviewing me did not have my resume. So like near the end of it, he's like, "Hey, after we get off this call, could you send me a copy of your resume because I don't have that." So it was just a friendly conversation, and basically all I could do was hear about the job and convey to him that I'm interested in it. And hopefully my resume spoke enough to him that it's worthwhile taking me on to the next round. And I'm really hoping hey, this guy is actually excited about the opportunity.
What city would it be?
Bangor.
Okay.
It'd be up there.
Yep, good old Bangor.
Bangor. It's I might have the opportunity to nearly run Stephen King off the road driving into work one day,
Jeez. Oh, Venison, you hanging in there? I figured you're probably wrapped up and got like a little slit where your eyes are.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the way I'm doing this. I've got it set up. I'm all cocooned.
Big Jersey burrito.
Well, hey, you got a fireplace in that room. Throw a log in there.
It hadn't been cleaned in like 25 years.
Yeah, I was going to say you might have a good roaring fire there.
well, geez, Venison, I know it's difficult to find time to do things like clean the fireplace, but
yeah, well,
don't you have a little free time on your hands there?
I don't have the equipment for cleaning that thing.
You don't have a broom?
You have a broom handle, right? Just shove it up there.
We're talking the entire chimney shaft here.
No.
Well, let's see. There's cleaning the chimney. There's working on the pipes. There's
and working
toilet.
on the pipes. Yeah, I don't have any damn plumbing tools to do that. It's a main pipe. I don't have welding equipment.
But I'm sure your neighbor who offers you electricity would have plumbing stuff.
Not like that.
You wrap some duct tape around it?
Nobody has that kind of stuff in their house.
Did you ask?
Hopefully spring will just come early.
Actually, I did.
You should duct tape it, Venison.
You should, yeah, there you go, duct tape.
Duct tape place for everything.
Sure, why not? Anyway, we'll see what happens. So I'll get my 2 hour set up and
yeah. This week it'll be cool.
I just have to. The bad thing is I'm running out of beers.
Oh no!
I gotta find it. Well, I think I've pretty much wiped out the Sam Adams collection.
Emily writes in. Wait, my fireplace is meant to be cleaned. Well, I think you can.
Yes, you have to vacuum it, Emily.
I think you can burn one of those cleaning logs every now and then to kind of clean.
You know what's sad? I just closed my eyes for a second and I thought about Emily's fireplace. And I can just see this big fireplace that has one of those big swing arms where you put the pot and then swing it over the fire because that's how they cook. I don't think she's that bad off.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Well, I just think of the water tank on the roof and.
Oh, that's how they heat their water with the fireplace, right?
Does she have to
God.
Does she beat her clothes against rocks to clean them or anything? Or? I'm kidding, Emily.
I don't think so.
Yeah, she does that, and then also the whole family shares one bath.
There you go.
She gets a helper-roo to help her out.
Helper-roo? I don't think that would be much of a help. I don't think a kick to the face is...
No, it kicks the laundry clean, right?
Oh, it kicks the laundry clean. Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
And that's where she keeps her children when they're not looking. Just stick them in a pocket there, here, there.
And the guard koala outside.
Ooh.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's another little complication with this fireplace. A little scared of it.
You're scared?
I had a bad incident at a sleepover with friends. We had their fireplace going, and we fell asleep. The embers were just up there, nice and warm, room nice and warm, until one of the logs popped and an ember popped onto the rug.
Oh yeah!
It's a good thing I woke up first.
Well, that's why you have one of those grates in front of the fireplace to.
Yeah,
we did.
Uh-huh.
It was, we did. It was fully graded, and the screens, screens across and all like that. But somehow the ember still popped out anyway.
Well, that's why you have smoke detectors and fire extinguishers.
Dennis,
very
you're
loud
older than
ones.
dirt. Why are you still having
Excuse me.
sleepovers?
Emily writes in, I'm not that much in the Outback. I have a stove, but I do hang the laundry out by hand, which is apparently ancient history in America.
Pretty much. You know what is interesting around here? You do actually see lots of houses that have the clothesline poles still standing, but no wires on them.
Yeah. They've kind of actually growing up, I recall at the house in Piscataway, we had a clothesline out in the back that my mom would sometimes use.
Well, my growing up, my parents had it too. Yeah,
and
my parents had it, but now I think the poles are still there, but there's no there's no wires across it anymore.
Sometimes the wires will give way, and you just and it's one of those things that over time you just stop having the time to do.
I tell you, the ones that kill me is watching I don't know, the big cities in New York or whatever, where they had the ones that strung from building to building, and they were on the pulley.
Right. Well,
I've seen those.
My next door neighbor had a pulley that would go, because out their back door there was a line that went out to another pole in the backyard, and it had a pulley so that they could kind of do that out and not have to actually go walk along the line and hang them up. They could just hang it out, put it out, That's all they had, the pulley in the backyard. But now, of course, one place that, of course, you'll see them will be at shore houses because, you rinse off your bathing suit and you put it out on the clothesline, and then the next morning you go grab it and put it back on. There you go.
We
have one here, too.
We never had the ones that were like that were kind of like on the turnstile. You know what I'm talking about? Where they're like a single pole and had like four things hanging off of it.
That's what we have at our shore house.
Are you talking about the umbrella kind?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah, we have that. We have that at our shore house.
Okay.
Oh, I hate the umbrella kind.
I always see them on TV.
Yeah, when I was living in San Jose, the San Jose house had a clothesline. It was 2 T-poles with about 7 or 8 lines going across, and it was about 20, 30 feet long.
Yeah,
it was a large one.
That's how my parents' house was.
Well, I remember when we used to rent out the apartment half of our beach house, because our beach house had this. It was split up into 2 sides, so you could actually rent out half of the house and use half of the house. And so when we would rent out that half and we'd use the house, we made a point to basically the clothesline was in the back, and what we would do is we would go out and put a towel on one side of the clothesline to kind of indicate, this is our side of the clothesline, and put your stuff on the other side of the clothesline. And most people would do that. If they'd go hang stuff on the clothesline and they'd hang it out on the side that didn't have our towel on it, so that way our stuff's on our side, their stuff's on their side. And every now and then you get the person that didn't get the hint, and they just hang stuff wherever on the clothesline, and our stuff would be intermingling.
Or they take your towel. Hey, cool.
It was never that bad, but sometimes we got the uninformed. I remember one of our first renters runs into my dad out, and he's like, "Oh, hey, where's the gas grill?" And my dad's like, "We don't have a gas grill for the, it's like I had a spare charcoal grill that I set up for you, but we didn't even advertise that." It was like, "Oh, the real estate agent said that there was a gas grill." It's like, "Hey, we don't have a gas grill for ourselves here." Sorry, you were mistaken. And then he's like, "And where are the beach badges?" It's like, "No, we don't provide those. You have to buy your own." It's like, "Well, they told us that you would provide badges." No. So we had to straighten that out with the, hey, what are you telling these people?
Sure, whatever. Yeah.
I still wish I had my clothesline, because I still used that thing until recently, when the tree that the other end was attached to fell on the neighbor's house.
So quickly, the beach badge thing. What's that?
Oh yeah, in New Jersey,
like a get into a club armband thing.
Well, yeah, that's a New Jersey thing. You don't get on the beach for free in New Jersey.
Really?
And it's a tax. It's a tax. It's one of the ways that the coastal towns in New Jersey generate income is by charging admission to get on the beach.
No. It's not a tax. It's a fee.
It's a tax.
Of course.
The town charges people money that they then use for the town. That's a tax. Are you with me, Dune?
Gotcha. That's really shocking.
Ronald Reagan invented that.
I mean, we talk. Is it a lot of money? Expensive? Or?
Well, I believe. Well, the thing is, it's more expensive in a sense if you're not a local, because being that we own a beach house there, we buy a season badge for the whole summer, and I think the season badges were $25. Which my family have always said, hey, $25 for a summer on the beach, I think that's not a bad price. I'm not sure what the price is for the weekly passes or the daily passes, but certainly it comes to more than it costs per day for that $25 for the whole summer.
It keeps out the riffraff.
Right. It is.
Are they pretty vigilant about it?
Yes. Yes, they have people that sit at the entry points onto the beach and check your badge, and there are people that walk the beach.
They got Moose and Rocco standing there going, "Your name, you're not on the list."
this is why I like California.
We have dryers.
But nothing. Go ahead, Neo, and then I'm gonna chime in. But go ahead.
About the beaches. Well, there's private beaches for houses.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the oh god, I just had it in my head. What was it?
There's public.
Yeah, there's public beaches where you don't have to pay anything, and then there's the state park beaches.
But the state park beaches are not free.
Well, no, they're not free, but you can go to a public beach and it's free.
Right.
I like the ones up here where I live because you don't find needles and
and I don't know.
Glass
what I find is funny is that, like at the state beaches in California, you pay to park.
Yeah.
But usually there's roadside parking nearby that's free. So a lot of people will fill up those roadside ones because they're too fucking cheap to spend the $5.
It's like
the
ones at Half Moon Bay. Yeah, it's like the ones at Half Moon Bay.
Half Moon Bay is that way, all the way down to Santa Cruz is that way.
Mm-hmm.
You go to, or you go Point Lobos State Park, and the road is filled with cars, and people walk in because they don't want to pay the $2 or $10.
And the thing is that I think they had to actually make a state law in the books that beaches that charge money for admission are required to offer a day badge, because when you said it's to keep riffraff off the beach, that's pretty true. Actually, is that a lot of these beach towns try to do things to kind of discourage the day trippers, because I think
but you can get a day badge from the state parks, and you can go to any state beach.
Right.
Yeah. So if you want to
you buy one and you can go to all these different beaches. Yeah.
But
that's cool.
But different beaches have like at Lavalette, they have a no food policy. And they don't have any food stands anywhere nearby. So a day tripper it's not convenient for a day tripper because there's not an easy lunch option. You're going to have to go somewhere to find.
Why would you
want to?
Well, that's why there's one at Half Moon Bay. I know that there was a few of them down that way, but there was one off the path of the main highway where you would go down, you would see a vegetable stand and this big old farm, and then you'll see horse stalls where you can ride on the beach with the horses, and then that was the state park down the way, of course, where the beach was. And I remember going as a little kid, and it was not where there was food stands. I'm sorry, you would have to bring your own food, so it's like a picnic at the beach.
Well, that's standard procedure, isn't it? Bring your own food.
I've never seen a beach that has
Oh, Jersey Shore. They have the ones in the Jersey.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you go down to Seaside. Right? You go down to Seaside.
Yeah.
You got Midway Steakhouse that Damon always likes to talk about, where you get the sausage sandwich and all kinds of different stands.
Well, but each beach has its own set of how we call it amenities.
Yeah. And there are some beaches that don't want the day trippers. And Lavallette's one of those beaches. They don't want people coming just for the day. They want to keep the riffraff out. So there's no no public bathrooms. No food stands, none of that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it sucks when there isn't a porta potty or something. That sucks.
Well, you have an ocean there.
There is an ocean, and
there is an ocean,
and you can dig a hole in the sand.
But who likes to poop in the ocean, right?
Well, that's what the sand's for.
You piss in the ocean and you shit in the sand.
Right. You dig a hole.
There you go.
You drop trowel.
Okay, but also
you drill a hole, drop trowel, poo. Cover it back up and walk
away.
If
the horses can do it, why can't you?
Yeah, why not?
Well, and
if venison can do
it,
why can't you?
To collect road apples.
Hey, he uses a bucket.
He uses a bucket and then he throws it outside for the fucking tomatoes. That's disgusting. I'm sorry.
Maybe he washes the tomatoes off really
It's not for the tomatoes, it's the flowers.
But some beaches allow dogs and some beaches don't allow dogs.
Oh yeah. That's
I'm not Chinese. Come on.
Here we go.
That's right. I'm Mr. Bucket. I'm Mr. Bucket. Toss your I'm Mr. Bucket. Out of my will pop. I'm Mr. Bucket. We're all gonna run. I'm Mr. Bucket.
The game's Mr. Bucket. The first to get their and the Mr. Bucket wins. But look out, because the will pop out of his.
I'm Mr. Bucket. Out of my mouth, I'm Mr. Bucket. A ball is what I'm about. I'm Mr. Bucket.
There we go, Mr. Bucket.
Mr. Bucket from Milton.
You mean you couldn't find one that didn't have the beeps?
The beeps is what makes that so funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a Liam.
I missed that point.
That was a Liam creation.
So you know how I was talking about this the Half Moon Bay Beach, and you go down the road and there's a fruit stand and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
1 year we went just to go sightseeing, and the fruit stand was closed, but because it was a private farm, we also had pigs and stuff. Well, this one pig, I mean, it was fucking huge. Like, it was about, 4 or 5 feet off the ground with just legs and about 6 feet long.
Wow.
Huh?
I mean, this thing was monstrous.
Uh-huh.
So when is a pig actually called a hog?
I think that was a hog.
Instead of fruit, you guys had ham?
I don't know. That was just, kind of a, thoughtful question. I don't know if anybody's aware, but this Chinese New Year will bring in the year of the goat.
Ooh, goat meat.
Okay. That apparently is very lucky. Okay. But when you go to see the decorations in some of the stores here, a lot of them you kind of go, do they know the difference between a sheep and a goat? That is a sheep. If it has a ram's horn, a ram is a sheep, not a goat. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
but it's close.
But I guess maybe because sheep are cuter than goats and they don't really give a fuck.
Well, Damon likes the goats, so I think he knows the difference.
Girlfriends with Damon.
Stop it, you're turning me on. Damon likes the goats.
That makes me rock hard!
There we go. Damon
does he like your stuff?
Oh, you know what it is? Okay, you know how it's different in granted they go by the Chinese zodiac, but it depends on culture variation.
Well, I would have thought that, but I asked around and everybody says, "Oh, it's the year of the goat."
See, where are you staying right now? You're in.
I'm in Singapore.
Singapore. Yeah.
You're in Singapore. Yeah. Well, in Hong Kong, it might be the year of the sheep. Or in Vietnam, it might be the year of the goat.
Okay,
See,
I'll accept that. I just haven't seen the evidence to prove that. I was thinking that, but I haven't seen anything that suggested that to be actually the case.
I personally think that's how it goes. Yeah.
That's pretty universal over there.
Okay. All right. Year of the goat or the sheep, depending on where you are or who's identifying the animal. Emily's written in a few things. I'm told some housing estates actually won't let you have a washing line because it's considered an eyesore or something. Our dryer only gets used on wet days or when I have a big backlog to work through. That's still standard in most Australian homes. But yeah, I have a stove and a washing machine, and only the kids share baths. Food stands, beach entry passes, not wanting families to take a day trip to the beach, and you call me backwards? Well, not all beaches are that way. Just the nicer towns that want to keep the riffraff out.
The snobby rich folks.
Yeah.
Well, and some states like Hawaii, all beaches are public. So if you've got that big fancy house on the beach, you have to provide public access. And I think that's a good thing. I don't think these rich bastards should have exclusive use of the beach. I don't care how much fucking money they have.
Yeah,
They're not giving money to me to have that exclusive access.
Yeah. Right on. But let's see. Police man with potato-filled toilet pulls fire alarm. What did you send me here, Mars?
What? What is that?
Repeat that one again.
Well, actually, I got a message that came in, and then we'll get back to that.
Milk of what?
Pigs, hogs, boars, they all wallow in mud, root around, and can destroy nearly any vegetation in their path. But what makes a pig and not a boar or a hog? Ultimately, there's no cut and dry difference because farmers, hunters, and regular folk all use these terms a little differently and interchangeably. However, pig usually refers to the barnyard variety. A wild boar is the kind that lives out in nature and is the ancestor of domestic pigs. And hog is used to describe larger pigs and boars. Technically speaking, they're all of the species Sus scrofa and are biologically very similar.
Well, it depends by size.
But hog is also a big guy that rides a motorcycle.
That too. But what I'm figuring out here is that
called the hog.
What I'm figuring out here is that Woodshop is rather very intelligent, and yet he chooses to listen to my show over Damon's. So I think that says something.
You might be doing both.
This is the intelligent show for the intelligent people. Is what this.
And that's your story, and you're sticking to it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Woodshop, for making the right choice.
Here, about the goat and the sheep.
Wisely.
Emily writes in, when did a family from a few hours away taking the kids for a trip become riffraff? I'm exaggerating a bit, but I think it comes down to beach crowding because the beach is a very crowded place in the summer, and so locals who run the town can take certain measures to try to
keep the mess down,
keep the crowds a little bit less. So hey, this is our beach, and we have to offer certain accommodations, but we don't have to be completely accommodating. Why don't you head on down the road a bit over to Seaside? They got bathrooms and food and riffraff. Go spend the day there. Keep on moving. I'm exaggerating a little. I don't think it's quite like. There are probably some people that think that way. Yeah, but
we don't take kindly to your types around here.
But yeah, certainly the beaches get crowded on the weekends, and if we had food stands and public restrooms, it'd be an even larger crowd on the weekend and be an even bigger pain to deal with finding a spot. That's what I'm. I don't make these policies. But the thing is that the locals that live there year round can screw the people that have the vacation houses, because they could dictate certain policy that people that don't live there year round and vote in other areas don't get to vote on. So like for example, how like usually there's a base amount that you pay on your electric bill. The town can set that base amount on your electric bill to be rather high, which is perfectly fine if you're there and using the power anyways. But when you're not there in the winter and you're not using any power and you got to pay that much on your monthly bill because that's what the base amount is.
Oh, you mean so it's that much, or it's minimum that much?
Right,
saying?
like there's a minimum payment on the electric bill, as I understand. I don't know. I think I overheard my dad having the conversation, and my understanding is that there's like a minimum amount on your electric bill that the locals, they're using that much anyways, whereas the people that go home for the winter.
So you had essentially with the communist electric company,
right? There's things like
government
that.
run.
There are things that happen in these towns that benefit the people that live there year-round at the expense of the people with the vacation houses. And
in other words, they didn't what? The place didn't have a meter?
What do you mean?
Didn't have electric meter?
Yeah, but the way the billing's done is there's a base rate there's a minimum amount. Anyways, about the guy with the potatoes in his toilet.
Yeah.
Potatoes in his toilet.
I don't know.
Yes.
I'm just seeing this story for the first time myself. In Upper Darby, Pennsylvania, an Upper Darby man is facing charges after pulling a fire alarm to get help unclogging his toilet that was filled with potatoes, police say. Well, this guy had a legitimate reason to pull the fire alarm. He needed help.
Well, he's like the guy that
at least it wasn't a
Netflix
prank.
went down and he dialed 911, right? Same story.
I mean, a backed up toilet could be a potential fire hazard. Possibly. Maybe.
Only if shit explodes.
It could happen.
It's a potato.
It's like.
I mean, if it overflow. Go ahead, Neo.
It's like the kid that gets his foot stuck in the toilet.
Right. Or the father that super glued his daughter that he was toilet training to the toilet.
Oh, that was
what?
What?
You didn't remember that story? That was hilarious.
That was a phone prank. That is what that was. A phone scam where the father calls the glue company saying that I got my daughter stuck on the toilet.
That was hilarious. I laughed my ass off.
Yeah, that was it was funny because it wasn't true. But that could be a fire hazard because if the toilet overflows enough to flood the room enough for the water to reach a power outlet, that could cause an electrical fire, right?
Yeah.
That's supposed to.
Not maybe not a fire, but it certainly would be a hazard of some sort.
Newer places have to be GFI protected.
Potatoes in the toilet.
Why not? Venison.
That's my burning question.
Venison, do you mean to tell me that you've never put potatoes in your toilet?
I haven't in a long time.
44-year-old Ralph Curry III admitted to police that he had activated the alarm because the maintenance staff had not properly returned his phone call in regard to a clogged toilet in his apartment. Oh, so basically the landlord wouldn't fix his toilet, and so he pulls the fire alarm out of frustration to get...
I would do the same thing.
I probably wouldn't, but I don't think they should arrest this guy.
Hey, you just might have to explain it to the judge. That's all. No big deal.
Well, no, I'm sorry. But, okay, I gotta explain something that doesn't really relate to fucking potatoes, but it relates to shit and a fucking toilet.
Uh-oh. It's gonna get dirty up in here.
Oh, no.
Okay, so my house, the people who live in it, and I have had septic problems for the past, since, November. Okay? It started with my sister's boyfriend who was living with us at the time. He moved back in with his mother. That's besides the point. So, the toilet kept getting clogged. And the septic was, backing up. So after we fixed the septic, after we unclogged the toilets, we were trying to figure out why the fuck were the toilets still getting clogged. So I'm pledging away, and my dad's cracking up a couple weeks ago, and I go, "What the fuck's so funny?" And he goes, "Oh, I just took a shit." And I'm like, "You motherfucker."
Oh.
So, turns out that my dad and my sister's boyfriend has some of those rank, hard-ass, long-ass, thick-ass fucking shits that make septic tanks and toilets explode.
I think that's where Dune needs to say his line.
Yeah, ooh. I do want to say, I'm not sure. It's safe to say I've never used those two words with my father.
On that story, I'm going to have to bail out. I have a interesting meeting to go to.
Interesting meeting.
Take care, Chief.
Yeah, a board meeting.
Well, what have you learned today, Brian?
Some shit don't stink.
There you go.
All right, thank you for joining us.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Have a good one.
But no,
You too.
like,
if my meeting ends up early enough, I'll try calling back. But I have a feeling that you guys will be gone.
All right.
So have a good one.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
but no, I'm serious though. Like, I there's times when I go into the bathroom and, like, we've told my dad, we're like, you need to unclog the toilet after you take a shit. There's no way you can leave it clogged.
I mean, that's here's the thing, because I've had situations where there was a certain toilets that the thing is that the act of using the bathroom, you're not done until it's properly flushed and you leave a clean bowl. I mean, you need to verify that you've left a clean bowl.
Yeah, some toilets cannot handle the Atkins deuce.
Yeah, I mean, you need.
That's just all there is to it.
You leave a clean bowl, and sometimes that means a second flush to get rid of residue. Sometimes that means, it's backed up, we need to plunge a bit. But ultimately, you're not done in the bathroom until you've left a clean bowl.
Dude, he broke a plunger trying to plunge it.
Well, he's not plunging right.
He broke a plunger.
The secret to plunging, but he's plunging wrong then, because the secret to plunging is that you don't push, you pull.
I push and pull.
No,
just to try and get it unstuck.
What you do is you get the plunger filled with water, and you push gently, and then you thrust up quickly to try to pull the clog out, not push the clog in. And that's what'll loosen it up and get it going again. That's the proper way to plunge.
Can you use the handle if it's too tough?
Dude, we have a handheld snake, and that fucker still wouldn't go down.
Well, now, I had a toilet situation. Actually, let's get to messages first. Woodshop writes in, I don't think I've ever heard of a big number 2 being referred to as dropping potatoes in my toilet.
He's not finished with the story yet. That's the problem.
And Emily writes in, this is more details than I ever needed about Neo's dad.
Oh my
The
God!
problem is sometimes she'll come back. We'll be on Team Talk, and she'll come back and she'll be crying. She goes, I'm like, what's wrong? The toilet. And we're just like, oh no.
Well, in Oakland, our toilet was problematic for a period of time, and the problem is that the plumbing the sewage line that was coming out of our apartment building had plants or roots that had grown into it. And
that's not good.
And the drain for our bathtub was also the drain for the toilet. So when the toilet backed up, sewage would back up into our shower, or our shower wouldn't drain. And so I had to call the landlord and be like, dude, we got shit in the tub. Said we basically had brown water in the tub is what we had.
Yeah.
And
so you had stanky water there too.
Yeah, we had stanky water. We couldn't flush our toilet, and
Oh, you bastard!
And they'd send a guy out with a snake who would open up.
Yeah, it's nice and warm in here, huh, babies?
Yeah, it is nice and warm, isn't it? Nice and warm.
Yeah. Had a tree root in here. When the pipe halfway down the driveway do that.
But they send a guy out. He'd have a big, professional snake, and would, clear out the clog, and we'd be good. And it was getting to the point where the guy came out multiple times, and I started asking the guy, what's going on? How come you have to keep coming out to fix it? I mean, are you doing something wrong? I'm not.
You asked the plumber if he's doing something wrong.
No, I didn't ask it.
Good job, Gators. Good job.
I was thinking that. I was thinking, like, why don't you do the job? And well, I didn't actually say that. I thought that.
You'd have gotten that same look that I got from the guy when I asked the record store owner if he had any K-Tel records. That's the same look you would have got.
You don't ask for K-Tel records. You find K-Tel records.
Oh, I understand that now. Believe me. Found that out real quick.
That's like Venison telling the electrician that he's doing it wrong.
You don't ask where the K-Tel records are. You ask where the dollar bin is and find the K-Tel records there. That is the proper way to shop for K-Tel records.
And I know that now.
You know that. You've learned. And so I asked the guy what's going on, and so one time he comes out, I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, well, it's the plant that's growing in the pipe. And the problem is that there was a bit of a disagreement between the town and the owner of the building as to whose side of the pipe the plant was growing in on. And so no one wanted to actually pay for a proper repair to get rid of the pipe that was infested with roots. So they keep having to send this guy out to clear out the roots that were blocking it that week. And at some point he pulled some roots out of that pipe, and we didn't have a problem for the rest of our time in that building after there. But it was a period of time where we had him out on a weekly basis clearing roots out of our pipe so we didn't have to have stanky brown water in our tub.
Yeah. That's bad.
You know what's really good about septic tanks?
What?
You can put dead animals in them to increase the bacteria.
I don't think you're supposed to do that.
I don't know if that's recommended.
You usually buy chemicals.
No. This is what happened. Okay, we bought the chemicals when we were having the septic tank issue. Okay, so we got the Rid-X. We got extra strength Rid-X. Neither of them worked. We got the stuff you put into the RV that is extra strength, extra potent, extra enzymes.
Yeah.
The stuff that will knock anything down and eat it. Still wasn't working. We got yeast because yeast is the bacteria and it will break down the poop.
Right.
Still didn't work. So one of the rabbits died. And
just chucked it in there.
And that worked. The rabbit died. Isn't that code for something?
Yeah, I was going to say.
No, she really did. What happened was
she's too young.
Yeah.
No. She was the outcast of the other three rabbits, and they killed her basically, and they ate half of her face and part of her stomach. Oh. And so when Mom found her, she had half a face missing and part of the stomach, so the guts were out and flies were all mingling around there. And so Mom picked her up. She was stiffer than a board, and took her over to the septic tank opening, dropped her in, closed it back up, and said, "Okay, let's see what happens."
So this is a happy story, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I don't know where that term came from.
What term?
The rabbit died. Other than a song from the 70s.
Well, no, that was because the early pregnancy tests involved a chemical that came from a dead rabbit. So.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, see, I didn't know that.
Oh my God!
Everyone knows that.
Really?
I did not know that. I didn't know where that term came.
There we go. There's our happy, cheery music for the dead bunny. So tell us about this dead rabbit guts hanging out, stiff as a board that you threw in your septic tank.
that eats poop.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a zombie rabbit that eats poop.
Yay, zombie rabbit. And you know the funny thing is, one of these days it's gonna jump out of the toilet to attack you.
Oh.
It's gonna be like zombie rabbit.
Emily writes in, my husband brought me a piece of paper and said, sign this. I'm wondering if I should be worried about what I just signed.
Yes. Yes, you should.
You should read something before signing it.
Are any of your children in school?
Homeschooled.
Homeschool? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well.
Nothing wrong with that. That reminds me of All My Children when Natalie married Adam.
Oh my God, Gators in a soap opera.
Yeah, Natalie married Adam, even though Natalie and Trevor were totally like in love with each other. But then Natalie decided to marry Adam instead. Why? Because that'd be a more interesting story than, hey, these two people that love each other got married and lived happily ever after. So let's have her marry this old, sack of bones. And who's a total asshole, and to drag out the whole Natalie and Trevor story forever and ever, and of course but so Adam at some point decides that he wants Natalie's stuff, and wants to trap her into staying married to him. So he draws up these forms that basically states that all of Natalie's stuff belongs to him and him only. So if they ever get divorced, he owns it all. And he's like, oh, it's these insurance forms I need you to sign. Oh, I don't have time to read it right now. Oh, the lawyer already looked over it. Just sign it. And so then when she decides she does want to be with Trevor and wants to leave Adam, Adam's like, well, you lose the house and everything if you leave me because you signed the papers. But it was okay because they got Adam's twin brother Stuart to pose as him in court to fix all that.
Oh, great.
I see.
As the world turns.
No, that's All My Children.
And then just as Natalie and Trevor were going to end up together, Natalie's long-lost sister Janet came into town.
Wait, was she a twin?
Well, no, but she looked remarkably like her, almost as if the same person were playing both characters and just putting on a black wig.
Now you're just talking crazy talk.
And so Janet fell in love with Trevor and was jealous that Natalie had Trevor. So what did Janet do? The only thing you could do. Dye your hair blonde, throw Natalie in a well, and pose as Natalie and marry Trevor. But it's okay because Dimitri Merrick found Natalie in the well and dug her. I'm not making this up.
Oh, we believe you. But that well flushed better than any other well.
Emily writes in, damn it, Gators, I think I'm actually starting to like the Smile in a Ribbon song.
Yes, as well you should.
Does anyone
It makes
remember...
you think about zombie rabbits.
Zombie rabbits, yes!
Yes.
Does anyone remember the soap opera that that had like this talking... I'm not sure it's even a soap opera now. It had a talking cube.
That probably wasn't a soap opera.
A talking cube? You're talking about Out of This World with Evie and the stupid alien guy that was in the cube.
Oh, wait.
Right?
Out of This World, would you like to swing on a star, carry moonbeams?
Is that the one you're talking about?
Right, because the father's an alien.
I love that show. Yeah, the father was alien. Evie was half alien, and she could freeze time and with her fingers and go... Bzz.
Yeah, and
I always thought that was a soap opera.
No, I used to watch it like every day.
That was a sitcom.
It was a great show, and they never finished it either.
Oh, they've started rerunning Small Wonder on Antenna TV.
Antenna, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard they did that.
The guy builds a robot to be their daughter, and
I love Vicky. I love that show. Vicky was awesome.
Vicky, who talks like a robot, but everyone thinks she's a human, and no one has any idea that she's a robot. Because there's nothing unusual about someone that talks like this all the time.
Yeah.
Nothing unusual.
What are you looking for?
Woodchop writes in, Septic Tank Wives' Tales. This makes me want to find like a Tales of the Septic Tank Pump Truck Operator blog. He sends me a link. Let's see.
Pump Truck Confessions?
Oh, so here we go. Arrow Septic and Sewer has a page of, some Septic Tank Wives' Tales to kind of dispel any myths or rumors. Bad advice, wrong information, old wives' tales, and other odd things to steer away from. First, we have you never have to pump out your septic tank unless you're having a problem. Unfortunately, from homeowners, this is the most common misconception out there regarding maintenance of your septic system. The sludge that breaks down in the septic tank does not just disappear. It accumulates and accumulates until the tank can't filter it properly anymore. At that point, day by day, more and more of it goes directly into your drain field and clogs up the pipes and soil. Then you have serious problems that won't be cheap to fix. Along these lines, watch out for the infamous pump and run strategy of pumping down your septic tank. Pump and run strategy, quantity not quality, is king. These companies charge rock bottom prices and have to make up the difference in volume. This is fine, except that the homeowner loses in this case. Be wary of a company that sends out a guy to pump down your septic tank and does the following. Septic tank gets located and vacuum home gets dumped into tank. Technician uses this opportunity to get a smoke, make a phone call, take a water break, etc. When the vacuum truck starts hopping means the truck is sucking in air now, which makes his truck shake up and down in the driveway. The technician takes his cue, removes the hose from your septic tank, and collects your money. This technique leaves the solids in your tank, which is exactly what you are paying to have removed. The main purpose of having your septic tank pumped out is to remove as much sludge as possible. This avoids unnecessary sludge entering your drain field and clogging up the pipes and soil. You pay a little less and get almost nothing in return as far as the service goes. I've been told to put a cake of yeast in my septic tank to break down the solids. Yeast only breaks down starches, which represent only a small percentage of the waste found in your septic tank. If you're going to use an additive, you need one specifically made for septic tank use to tackle all the various types of waste. The ever-popular, I've been told to throw a dead animal in my septic tank to boost bacteria. Believe it or not, some people actually believe in doing this. Just as our poor service technicians that have to deal with the mess. This is not only untrue, but it will most likely cost you more to get the tank cleaned out due to the parts clogging up our truck hose.
I told you.
A company called me on the phone and said if I use their product, I don't have to pump the tank down for 10 years, 20 years. Beware of miracle products sold over the phone or by direct mail that make wild claims such as those. Nothing replaces maintenance septic tank pumping. Like we mentioned earlier, broken down sludge cannot just disappear. It accumulates in the tank until it is cleaned out. The money you think you save on septic pump down over those years, you will spend double in getting a new septic field installed because it prematurely failed due to sludge flowing out into the drain field. So there you go.
I'm glad my poop goes into the bay, so...
Yeah.
I'll tell my mom to to go ahead and request actual pumping.
All right, thank you. Thank you once again for bringing a little more intelligence to the show. And Dune sends us a link. Night of the Zombie Rabbit.
There you go.
Copyright 2010. Ink Monsters All Right Reserves. This is just a image, I guess, for what, an upcoming movie is this?
I don't know. I just Googled zombie rabbit. That's the best I could do on short
notes. Came up with a
Zombie
picture
rabbit.
of the zombie rabbit. Okay.
You could have that be the show art for today.
There we go. The show art, Night of the Zombie Rabbit.
There you go. So,
anyways.
Yeah.
Perfecto.
So what happened with these potatoes?
I want to know.
The affidavit of probable cause reads, Curry's actions caused public alarm and caused public safety to respond in a manner that put both public safety as well as the public at risk. Curry's action also caused the apartment complex to be evacuated in 12-degree weather. Curry's actions served no legitimate purpose. Curry is charged with false alarms to agencies of public safety, reckless endangering another person, and disorderly conduct. So, no explanation as to why the toilet was clogged with potatoes.
Well, you know.
And then we got the question being posed, does taking a huge dump help you lose weight? For anyone that has dropped a lung, given birth, or laid a cable, And if you are not up on your bathroom euphemisms,
lay a cable.
Lay a cable. Well, I guess if you got like a long, skinny one that kind of coils up a bit.
Oh my God.
Taking an absolute massive turd. The curiosity to jump on the scale to see if you've shed 10 pounds can be high. But does having a toe-curling, tricep-flexing crap actually make you lose weight? As it turns out, it can. But only a bit.
To.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's stuff that was in you that is now not in you. So
yeah.
If you weigh before dropping a deuce and after dropping a deuce, there should be a difference.
It's like in the morning taking a big ogre piss.
Yeah. So if you poop after a few days of constipation, you might think you've lost a ton. Pooping can reduce bloating and can help you feel more comfortable in your jeans so you feel smaller. But that amazing feel is more about de-bloating than actual loss of body mass.
Oh.
It's not like after you poop you should be saying, "This is my new weight," says Dulon. She suggests weighing yourself at similar times in the morning, sans clothes. If you have to go to the bathroom, go ahead because it will lower the scale a little bit, she says. But if you don't need to poop, don't sit in the toilet trying to go so you weigh less. It won't be a substantial difference. So basically,
8 pounds, right?
It's about common sense, basically. It'll make a little difference, but it's not going to be like, dropping 10 pounds. Emily sends me a link and says, zombie rabbits aren't cool enough. I'm going to go ahead.
What?
I'm going to go ahead and share this link with the Team Talk room. So, Mars, if you want to
no!
check out some zombies.
No, I'm not looking at that. I saw the link. No, absolutely not. I'm not clicking it.
What? What's
bad, Emily? Bad.
What's wrong?
No bunny clowns. Dang,
it wasn't a bunny clown. It was a zombie bunny, and a zombie clown.
Yes.
I don't care. There's a clown in there. Go away.
Well, it's a zombie clown.
Thanks, Emily.
That means it's dead. Your favorite kind of clown, Mars, a dead clown.
Flamethrowers. It melts the clowns.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Mars. Oh, cloud never hurt anyone.
It's not even 8 o'clock yet. What the fuck?
Denison, by the way, you should open your Dropbox. It'll help you. It'll help brighten your day.
Yeah, after the bandwidth clears up again.
Woodchuck writes in, zombie rabbit born from the septic field. It seeks revenge while you sleep.
Or while you poop. It's going to sit there reach up its little bunny zombie claw outside the toilet to grab you.
And moving right along on this bathroom theme, apparently we now have an app that helps you find the nearest toilet anywhere in the world.
Yes!
And tells you if they're free to
Gators.
use.
You need this.
Oh, speaking of toilets, did you know that some, I believe it's in the Bay Area, especially San Francisco, they are now equipping public toilets with duvets instead of actual toilet paper.
I mean, I can get my ass washed in the public toilets?
Yes.
Hey, as long as it's not ice cold water, that's...
I thought you were going to say they all have Bluetooth.
Yes.
Why not?
But yeah, they're getting rid of toilet paper in some areas.
It'd actually be cheaper. Except if there's water shortage, you wouldn't think they do that, right?
You would think.
Maybe it's recycled.
Ew.
Anyways, that's the Flush Toilet Finder app to help find free toilets.
Let's see. I'm going to look that up now.
Gators, when was the last time you needed to find your toilet and try to figure out where it was?
I usually know where toilets are. So.
You sure?
Oops. Typed in finger app.
Yeah, don't look at that one.
Finger app?
Yeah, don't look at
Flush
finger
toilet finger app.
Flush
Don't
toilet
do that.
finger app. That doesn't sound good. Apparently, NASA's Kepler discovers first Earth-sized planet in the habitable zone of another star. So we found a new
We have a
Earth.
place to move when we destroy this planet?
While planets have previously been found in the habitable zone, they are at least 40% larger in size than Earth, and understanding their makeup is challenging. Kepler 186f is more reminiscent of Earth. So does that mean there might be people there?
You might find aliens.
Could be.
Huh.
Could be zombie rabbits too.
Could be. It could be the zombie rabbit planet.
There could be a zombie rabbit radio show going like, and then these people came out.
Yeah.
And here's a picture.
Oh.
Woodshop was thinking along the similar lines. He says, I thought you were going to say that all California public toilets now have Wi-Fi.
A lot of them do. Well, you get Wi-Fi in the area anyway.
Venison's on a bus.
Well, no, he would be off the bus because a lot of our bus stops have Wi-Fi and free Wi-Fi and power
dude,
plugs.
you're set.
Emily makes a good point. My confusion with duvets is, how do you dry afterwards? I don't want to walk around with wet pants.
Well, I know.
Well, you sort of like jiggle. You jiggle.
I've seen the ones that they sell on Woot once in a while, and some of them actually have like a dryer.
Okay. Well, maybe these have a dryer.
It just seems like I don't want to invest that much time
in drying your ass.
Yeah, I mean it's bad enough having to, run the sprinkler on it, and then you have to dry it.
The sprinkler. Do I have a sound effect for that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god! I need to go into my sound effects folder now.
Have you seen Japanese toilets?
Oh, the Toto toilets are awesome.
I gotta find you a Japanese toilet now.
They have
like $10,000 or something crazy like that.
Yeah, they're really nice though. They have MP3 players.
Yeah, their toilet technology is far beyond ours.
They have fancy colored lights.
Let's see. I don't have a sprinkler. Let's see. I got bathtub. Let's see.
Pretty close.
No, that's a little too much water for a duvet.
Well, that's me filling up the toilet.
That sounds like the bear doing the plop.
There you go.
Oh, that's lightning. Let's see.
Oh yeah, it's a gadget. Yeah, that's a good one.
There we go. It is the.
Wow, now there's the guy losing weight.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Yeah. There it is.
But see, the thing is, and what I don't understand with the duvets, especially the ones built into the toilets, is what if you shit on the little stick that shoots water out?
The stick usually engages and advances up a little.
Usually, the stick's not in the path. You'd have to go to effort to shit on a stick.
The same person that would do that would also drop a deuce in the tank.
Yeah. The upper deck. It's like 2,000 flushes blue, but with shit. One of my.
See, I can't write that down. I'm laying.
Well, that's one of my favorite Sloan quotes. Is it's like 2,000 flushes blue, but with shit.
That's great.
Woodshop writes in, I like the toilet that comes with the iPhone app where you can turn on the heated seat from the other room, so it's nice and warm by the time you get there.
See?
That's like that guy, John Cage on Ally McBeal, was ahead of his time because he had the remote control for one of the toilets in the bathroom so that he could, trigger a flush before he got there because he likes a clean bowl. Or he could also trigger.
Sitting on the John.
And he also had the remote control that could, trigger the seat to flip up before he got there. So that way he'd walk in and the seat was already up. And unfortunately, Ally McBeal picked that stall to go sit down on and was sitting down just as he hit the button to flip up the seat. And she ended up wedged in the toilet, and they actually. Bad timing.
Watched Ally McBeal.
She porcelained herself.
Yeah.
You know how you can heat a toilet seat without having an app? You put socks.
Flamethrower?
No. Put socks on the toilet seat.
Oh, that's horrible.
You slip them on. It's a life hack.
Okay.
Well, the fuzzy seat does that too.
Serious.
Well, no, You could do
there
that.
We go.
You have to have one of those split.
There's the sprinkler.
Yep, there it is.
Yes, your ass is being clumped. So what if you have a squirt seat? You gotta have extra squirt. Can you just like go again? It's like the wash, rinse, repeat.
Wash, rinse, repeat. There you go.
Yeah, I like the rainbow treatment, you know, and the.
Ooh, rib for your pleasure.
There we go.
See this right here.
All right, let's see what you got here.
No, I've seen this, but yeah.
And you need to go to my site, The Westerner's Guide to Japanese Toilets.
But why would you want to sit on the? This is for the toilet seat that's got the cutout in the front of it, so you can slide and lock. But most home
those are
toilets
only in like old people stall things.
Most home toilet seats aren't like that, though.
But that also brings forth a question. What is that slit for? Is that for men who like their balls and junk to dingle in the?
I don't know.
Dingle dangle in.
I never could answer that question.
Emily writes in, "You people are disturbing." Oh, come on. We all use toilets. Emily, you...
Yes, everybody poops.
With the well, we all use toilets with the exception of Emily's kids, who use the floor, as we found out.
Poor kids.
We just not use the floor,
they'll never eat again.
But we'll taste it to see what type of flavor it would be.
Oh.
Is it creamy and nutty, or is it dark and stinky?
All right, I'm agreeing with Emily. You're disturbing. You are disturbing. You took it too far. You just need to back it off a little bit.
That reminds me of the Austin Power.
It's a bit nutty. Yes.
It's a bit nutty.
I was thinking the same thing.
Oh man. Well, listen. So this week you're on, right? Is this your week?
Emily's on this week.
It's her week, okay.
Yeah, it's been a fortnight since her last show.
Okay. Well, I'll try to come up with some theme, which is a joke, because I won't, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Okay. Emily's writing something in now. I thought she wrote something in, but no, it's still, you people are disturbing.
You deleted it before she said it. Just to make you look.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bail on out of here, but I will catch you cats later.
All right. Thank you for joining us.
See you, dude.
Take care.
Good night.
Good night. Woodshop writes in, has anyone made a toilet or a toilet seat that's larger where you can sit on it for longer than 20 minutes without your legs going to sleep? I don't know.
Yeah.
But Rhett and Link did in honor of the Super Bowl on Friday. They did their episode of Good Mythical Morning devoted to different toilets. So it was the toilet bowl is what it was.
Well,
so
I watched the Puppy Bowl. Does that count?
I watched last year's Puppy Bowl because I'm a year behind on Puppy Bowls because I don't have Animal Planet.
Why did you watch it this year?
Because I don't have Animal Planet. So last year I bought the previous year's Puppy Bowl through Amazon, and I watched that last year, and then the next day the Puppy Bowl goes for sale through Amazon store, and so I bought that, but I didn't watch it because by then Super Bowl was over, didn't care. So this year I watched last year's Puppy Bowl, and it turns out when I bought last year's Puppy Bowl, I actually signed up for a subscription, so it automatically purchased this year's Puppy Bowl for me. The next morning, Monday morning, I woke up, email my inbox, your Puppy Bowl purchase has been made. Click here to download it. So next year I'll watch this year's Puppy Bowl.
Okay. Okay.
You know what kind of toilet seats I don't like?
What?
The metal ones?
No. I don't like the squishy kind.
The squishy
the
kind?
squishies.
I
hate those.
Emily writes in, we all use toilets, but we don't all play sprinkler sound effects to imaginary waves while discussing the differences between toilet seat styles. Also, yes, Neo wins.
Yes, Neo definitely wins.
There's nothing wrong with playing a sprinkler sound effect. Dune made reference to sprinkler on your ass, so I thought it was fitting to bring up a sprinkler sound effect to add to the conversation. It had to be done. There's no getting around it. We needed a sprinkler sound effect. Is what we needed.
Right.
That's what we have sound effects for, to enhance the show and enhance the listening experience.
Yes.
I wonder if anyone has actually tried aiming poo at the sprinkler system.
Why?
Just because. Just, you know how guys stand up and they try to
place with
aim.
the sprinkler system up my butthole. I'm just saying.
You know how guys just sort of like stand there and try to aim for the toilet and they always miss?
How did they miss? The freaking hole's huge. I don't understand this. I go to the bathroom at work. There's this big asshole, and there's pee all around it, and I'm like, that makes no sense. It's a hole, dude. It's a hole bigger than your head. If you can't aim for that, you have a problem. The blind guy can do it. Come on.
Let's see. Oh, I found a YouTube clip of a dude takes a shit while riding a skateboard. That's
what?
Okay, dude's on a skateboard in red shorts and a black tank top, and someone's filming this. Okay, dude drops trow, squats while riding the skateboard. Black bar to kind of censor this a bit for, and there goes shit. Oh my God, he did it. And
that kind of give him extra speed.
And then he pulls his shorts back up.
He doesn't right.
You know, I hope it was. I hope it was a clean break.
It looked pretty clean to me. Here, I'll send you the link.
No, I don't want to watch it. You explained it.
There you go.
Oh,
there you go, Mars.
Great.
You have to click it.
Over 1,000 years of viewing content.
That's okay, Venison. I'll send you the link too. There you go.
Yes,
and I'm sure Dio wants it too. So there you go.
Oh, you cock! You're a cock monkey.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gators.
Hey,
thanks.
You're welcome. I figured if you had any work,
I'll be sure to save this and accidentally stick it in the geography folder from my boss.
Yes, it's a gift.
Now, you know what? I'm going to click on that so I can look at the what's related on the right and see where those links take you. Just for that. What else is in that category?
You might need to be 18 years or older to watch this, Venison.
Let's see. Related is 33.33 minutes of OMG moments. I want my noodles. Fat kid gets mad because he ain't get his noodles. Let's see. White dude protects his girlfriend after perv on Facebook comes to there. Top wiping shit on people reactions of 2014.
No.
What? This is a thing? Wiping shit on people for reactions?
I have female reporter poops her pants during interview.
Okay, that's better than any of mine. Woodchop writes in, there's a YouTube video of a hippo shitting like a lawn sprinkler.
Oh, yeah.
I am not watching that one either.
Let's see what we got here. Hippo shitting?
I do not,
that's what it's called.
It looks like a chainsaw.
All right, hippos coming out of the water.
This one.
Fucking hilarious.
Hippos crawling out of the water, walking slowly.
I think that's fake. It's gotta be fake.
It looks pretty real to me.
How do you not hear that? It's like, what?
That's great. That's
Doesn't put that on his show. Oh my god.
Let's see. Hippo has exploding poo. There's multiple hippo poop clips on YouTube. Really?
I think it's a thing.
That's a thing. Nice family visit to the zoo and see the hippos.
Come on, Patty.
Holy crap.
It's the hip-hop-opotamus.
You are huge.
Wow.
Well, you do have another bite, don't you?
You're waterlogged.
And
That's what that is, actually. Yeah.
let's see what happens.
Yeah, they're well fed.
Hippo's walking around.
It's gonna follow.
Walking around. Oh, we go to the hippo number 2 coming out of the water.
They're actually the most dangerous.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
That's what that guy said. He said he'd rather meet up with anything than a hippo. Because they can run fast.
It's hard to believe that.
I don't want to find out though.
Yeah,
I got that on
video. Oh.
No.
That's gonna be in the family video section.
Oh, I love this video. This video is called "Dubstep and Animals Pooping."
Oh.
So basically, it's horrible video meets horrible audio, is what it is.
Yeah.
But why? Why would you put dubstep to animal pooping videos? I don't get it. But
How did we get onto animal pooping?
You know why? Because it's all shit.
all right, this is a rhinoceros. That's pooping. Sure enough, that's poop. This is all right. We got a an alligator or a crocodile. I'm not sure which, because oh, there's poop coming out. I gotta say, oddly enough, I don't like watching video of animals pooping, and I don't like listening to dubstep, but I do have to say that this works.
Because it's all shit.
Yeah. This to me is quite... You know what? I'm giving this a thumb up.
Oh. Okay.
There we go. There's a cow. Ugh. Ugh.
Gators now has a new fetish.
No, I just think...
Who knew he's an animal scat?
I think it's a good combination. All right, we got a dog squatting. There we go.
Like you haven't seen that one.
Ugh. All right, I can't take any more of this. The music's too much.
Oh, it's the music!
It's the music.
You could have just put it on mute and watched it.
I wasn't particularly fond of the video either, though.
Oh, okay.
Woman bites off attacker's tongue, keeps it as evidence.
Yeah.
Oh, I see, because the person attacked her, so she fought back by biting off the person's tongue and, hey, match the tongue to the attacker.
Yeah.
I don't need to read the whole story. I think that summed it up.
The problem is, he goes, so sorry, so defendant, are you guilty? I'm not guilty. I had head.
How do you plead? Coincidence.
Hmm?
Pay no attention to that section of tongue over there that lines right up to the
It says
stump.
Exhibit A.
That's yeah.
I wonder when she bit it off if it still squirmed.
Ew.
Yeah. Do tongues squirm after they get disconnected?
Well, I don't know. That's the thing.
It's not like a worm.
Well, would you consider it a tentacle?
No.
Well, if you think about it, it is a muscle.
It's an appendage.
It's not an appendage. An appendage is like your fingers.
Right.
Your tongue is a whole different animal.
No, it's not.
I thought it was part of you.
It's part of you.
Animal, right?
Why would it be considered an appendage?
Because it comes out of you.
Yeah, but if you think about it, an appendage usually means that it has bones or cartilage. Your tongue is just flesh.
It's muscle.
Let's see.
Well, they say the tongue is the strongest muscle in the body, so I don't know.
True.
What they say? Oh.
Now I wonder. Oh.
Well, you should Google it. Do tongues wiggle after you get cut off?
The tongue wiggle after getting cut off?
Ew. Speaking of stories that make you go, ew. Neo sends this one in. 2 Jewish mohels banned after babies contract herpes from circumcision rite.
Oh, they got the herpes.
Oh, that is a sad story.
Poor baby. You got circumcised and some herpes.
Oh,
that'd be extra, please.
That is bad all around. That's awful.
That sucks.
That's why there's regulation. That's why you clean it. You clean your scalpel.
I don't think they use scalpels.
Don't they just like take it and rip it off?
No.
No, they use a
Well, the old
alligator. No.
The old stereotypical image is of the mohel holding the scalpel and the baby there. You know, like on that episode of The Simpsons when they're badgering Krusty's dad.
Pinking shears. And just
well, no, that they might use a clipper now. I don't know.
Nail clippers.
No. Let's see. New York City authorities banned the mohel involved in the 2004 death. Rabbi Yitzchak Fisher. Health Department has not named the 2 recently banned mohels. Though the practice remains legal, the New York City Health Department implemented new measures in 2012 requiring mohels to receive written parental consent before performing direct oral suctioning. Ugh.
What?
Yeah, they used to do that in the old days.
Apparently some still do.
Oh.
That's disturbing.
What do they mean by oral suction?
This is not the family-friendly material I wish to discuss on this show. So let's talk about school lunches.
We've been talking about poop and toilets for the last 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but you don't want to talk about baby's first blowjob.
Yes. Poop is a much
is
more...
that what they do? Okay, never mind.
Poop is a much more family-friendly topic.
Oh, okay. Because everyone does it?
Everyone poops.
Okay.
Not everyone sucks baby dick, but everyone poops.
Okay, so what they do is they
bite off the thing?
No. They powder it with this yellow stuff after they do their hymns, and what is a scalpel? Well, no, actually, no, it's not really a scalpel. It's a well, I don't really want to hear the baby cry. Hold on.
Woodshop writes in, they used to use real scissors, but now because of safety regulations and you're in the presence of a child, they now have to use safety scissors.
Oh, like the little orange and white ones? They had the little, the safety ones?
So does that mean they make like a left-handed version?
They did make left-handed ones. I remember that.
Because you used to have the lefty
stuck with that pair
scissors
a couple times.
for the left-handed students.
Oh, man. I'm like, I can't count my freaking left hand.
You know what it is?
Huh.
Okay. I've actually seen circumcisions like there's a difference between a Jewish circumcision and a doctoral circumcision.
Medical, right.
Yeah. The medical one, they do it really slowly to cut around the tip of the penis and to take away the foreskin, while the traditional Jewish circumcisions, what they were doing in the video was they took they pulled the foreskin up, clamped it with
You know, I'm gonna get coffee while you. I don't want to hear this.
What? No. Why are you doing that?
They clamp it and then they just slice it. They don't have like a can opener and twisting the skin off.
Oh, what about remember the episode of Men in Tights? He walks around, he's using the mohel. He pulls out the little mini guillotine with a hole in it.
Yes.
Nip the tip!
Nip the tip! With the guillotine!
Like, oh.
But yeah.
I think he actually left to go get coffee.
Oh my god.
Nipping the tip.
But yeah, that's what they do. They
Yeah. No. I know surgical is a little more precise.
Mm-hmm.
But at least I think it's way more safer, of course. But
well, yeah, it's way more safer.
Religion's
However,
religion, and that makes a lot of sense for them to do it that way too.
Yeah, but for them to just like for a more medical way of doing it, I really feel bad for the baby because they do it in such an inhumane way.
Snip ice. Here, hold that.
No, it's not even that. They literally have this
yeah. So Woodchop writes in, that went right over your head. Safety scissors can't cut fucking paper half the time, and you're going to use them for circuits. No, I didn't take it literally. I just played it straight. That's why I went for the left-handed ones. Some weird creature was found in a can of tuna. Looks like it has eyes.
Oh.
Ew.
Yes, it does have eyes.
Ew.
Was it tasty?
I don't think the person ate it. I think the person took a picture of it and sent it to the tuna company and said, "What?"
Oh, I would have fried it up.
What the fuck?
Stuck on the grill and fried it up.
Yeah, sure you would. Okay, you know what? Let's see if they have a number. We'll call. I'm sure they'll be happy to send it to you, and watch you eat it.
What do you think it was? Was it a fish?
I don't know. I think it was alien.
Ooh. Dennis and aliens are hiding in our tuna now.
What the hell is this about bacon being overrated? Bacon is not overrated. Steak's not always better than bacon.
What if you have bacon wrapped steak?
Ooh, there you go. Now that's awesome. I remember we used to get that. We used to buy from. We had this guy named George that drove a meat truck. That's not a truck made of meat. That's a truck with dry ice and boxes of meat in the back of it. And
Venison, you should drive a meat truck.
Yeah. No, he drove around the neighborhood selling meat out of the back of his truck. And
probably if he loses profits, he'd be like, "Oh, I ate my steak." Sorry.
And my mom would buy meat from him. And he sold like sausage on a stick wrapped in pancake.
Oh, sausage on a stick.
Wrapped in pancake. Heat them up in the microwave. Put some syrup on them. Breakfast. And these bacon wrapped fillets that were very
that was
delicious.
A thing.
And that was great. Let's see. Does not liking it make you feel like you need to immediately repent for your sins? Hey, if you teach their own. You don't like it, you don't like it. Let's see. People actually lie about how much they like it. First off, it stinks. No, it doesn't. Bacon smell. You know what? Let me tell you. It does linger, but it is a good smell. Let me tell you. Because Saturday and Sundays, I make bacon with my breakfast. I make bacon and eggs. And then on Saturday, at some point after breakfast, we'll go shopping. And when we come back from... Because when you're in the apartment, you don't realize that smells linger once you've been in it for a while and it dissipates.
Yeah, you become smell blind.
Right.
Smell blind.
But then when we go out grocery shopping and we come back into the apartment, I notice the smell of bacon is still lingering. And to me, that's like, hey, it still smells like bacon in here. It always gives you greasy fingers. That's what napkins are for. It's way too salty. No such thing. Let me tell you, I take after my mother. I love salt.
Then you have a vitamin deficiency.
I mean, bacon is good, but there's food that tastes much better. They show a slice of pepperoni pizza. Let me tell you, what about pepperoni bacon sausage pizza? There you go.
Oh yeah, I get a Hawaiian pizza with bacon on it. That's pretty good.
Steak is always better than bacon, always. Bacon wrapped steak. Restaurants always undercook it. That's why I make my own bacon and don't order it at a restaurant.
Exactly.
Speaking of the smell of bacon, I don't know about you, but when it comes to when it's first cooked, it smells really good. But after it lingers a bit, it starts smelling really weird, and I personally do not like that smell.
I
love that smell.
I disagree.
will eat your bacon, though.
It still smells fine to me. Hot oil splashing from the pan burns more than anything. Well, I fry my bacon on a griddle, and the griddle does have like a drain hole, so I can kind of, if it's building up too much of the grease, I can kind of...
oh, come on. I say no pain, no gain. Come on.
I usually don't have much of a problem with
no pain, no gain.
Splashed.
Just a little grease. It's all right.
Let's see.
Don't cook bacon naked.
Kevin Bacon. And it shows this portrait of Kevin Bacon made up of different shades of bacon.
Well, there's 6 ways to him, I hear.
Justin Bieber probably likes it.
Ew.
I don't care. I don't care about Justin Bieber. People are way too crazy about it. Whatever. I still like it. The amount of bacon merchandise is getting out of control. Oh, come on. Gabe taking a bite out of the bacon soap. Classic NHB Telethon moment. And I still have that bar of soap with the bite taken out of it in my Addie and Gabe care pack.
I'm impressed you still have that, actually.
Well, it all came in that backpack,
Ew.
which is tossed in my closet somewhere.
Oh.
Bacon toothpaste.
Yeah, I got bacon mint.
Bacon flavored lubricant.
No.
I
don't want.
A bacon design.
If it smells like bacon, you probably should be doing it. I'm just saying.
A bacon design casket. Oh, by the way, it's super unhealthy. You know what? I'm losing weight by eating bacon. So fuck you. Bacon killed Elvis. No, it did not. Elvis overeating.
It was the donuts, wasn't it?
Elvis overeating just about everything, including bacon,
Dude,
killed Elvis.
He was big fat Elvis at the end. There's something wrong with him.
Anyways.
Oh.
Fallow666 writes in, I am the grill. And Woodchop writes in, cook a bacon strip, dip it in pancake batter, then deep fry. Oh my God. That sounds awesome. Emily writes in.
That has to be carbs. You have pancakes.
Yeah. Well, that would be an occasional thing. Emily writes in, bacon sucks. Whatever. And Mars wanted us to talk about the pilot that crashed taking a selfie.
Oh, was that the one in Taiwan?
I don't know where it was. I already closed the tag because I already read about it.
It's kind of stupid.
Well, like basically,
yeah.
they found one of those GoPro cameras that showed that this person had a habit of taking selfies while flying, including landing, which generally you don't want to do, and use the flash while taking selfies, which so they think that it was spatial disorientation that caused the plane crash, which may have been due to the selfies.
I was talking about the Taiwan the Taiwan the airplane that crash landed in Taiwan.
Oh.
And killed 32 people so far.
That sucks.
Yeah, was that too soon?
I don't think you made a joke about it.
No.
So.
Well, I tried making a joke about it, seeing how the pilot probably took a selfie.
Emily writes in, damn it, Woodshop, now Andrew is going to make bacon pancakes. Ugh.
Bacon pancakes.
That sounds awesome.
Bacon pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Take some bacon and I'll put it in a pancake. Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make. Bacon pancake.
There's like a 10-hour version of that.
That's what I brought up.
Oh,
God.
thanks, Gators.
Please no.
And just think.
Just say at 9 hours and 42 seconds, there was an error in that.
You know, if someone flagged that as offensive, someone that works for YouTube would have to spend 10 hours of their time watching it. And I know this because someone once wrote in an FML that something that was repetitive for hours was flagged, and they basically had to sit there and watch the whole thing, beginning to end.
Sorry. Couldn't they download it like I do and just watch it fast forwarded?
Mars, I bet it was you.
Maybe.
You flagged the 10-hour edition of Polka Dot Afro, didn't you?
Polka Dot Afro?
God, I flagged that anyway.
This doesn't make me more hungry.
Yeah. I have a jar of cheese balls here if you would like some.
No. I got steak defrosting.
Okay.
Steak.
Yes.
By the way, Gators, don't get the butter thing from Jack in the Box. They taste nasty.
You know, I saw those in the menu yesterday, but I'm trying to stick to the Atkins, so I just grabbed my normal.
I'm sorry. They put like half a pound of butter on that. What? Why? Why do I want butter on my? Those are nasty. I got sick for like 3 days off of that.
Oh,
dude, I'm going to fucking rage quit that fucking song.
What? It's catchy.
No, it's not.
Is this from Adventure Time? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I don't really like Adventure Time that much.
Oh, well, right. I'll stop it. Woodshop writes in this.
I don't know why. I never got into that or the regular show.
Woodshop writes in, this is only made simpler by using pancake in a can. Oh, no. No. I only make pancakes from scratch now.
Wait. Do you make pancakes in a rice cooker?
No. Make them on a griddle.
Oh, they're called batter blasters.
Oh, yeah, batter blaster. It's a...
I tell you, growing up in my house, pancakes came out of a box. With a box with a lady wearing a headscarf, and but at some point they redesigned the box.
Did she have knicker toes?
You know, damn it, Addie, you sound an awful lot like Neo this week.
What are the ones that she got? Was it the filber set that my mom's friend would call it?
The Brazilian ones?
No, the nuts.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the Brazil nuts.
Yeah, if you look at a Brazil nut, my mom's friend used to call them niggatos, and I'm like, dude, that's just wrong.
Yeah, no.
I just can't help laughing because they kind of do.
Woodshop writes in, you make pancakes on the griddle and brownies in the rice cooker, damn it. Get it right.
Actually, I make brownies in a cup.
I make brownies in a brownie pan in the oven.
I gotta try making brownies in the rice cooker. I made pancakes in the rice cooker. Yeah.
All right, no, but I'm telling you, growing up, my dad would use the box mix to make pancakes, and I moved to Maine, and Gothard taught me about hey, you grab the cookbook and flour, baking powder, sugar.
Wait, were you talking about Aunt Jemima or were you talking about Uncle Ben?
No, Uncle Ben makes rice. You put rice
That's
in
a
your
different
pancakes.
kind of nigger toe.
Hey! Watch your language.
Hey, I'm talking about Brazil nuts. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Brazil nuts are awesome with pancakes.
Okay.
And rice.
But anyways, so once I had the pancakes from scratch, I never went back. And I tell you, it's fun. Ever since when you make pancakes from scratch, you go to IHOP and you order a plate of pancakes and you eat them. Plus, you always have like real maple syrup. And then when you go to IHOP, order pancakes and put their corn syrup version of maple syrup, imitation maple syrup on the pancakes. And you take a bite, you're like, oh, not the same.
Gators, did
Not
you
the
ever
same.
walk outside the trailer and pound on a pan and say pancakes is ready?
I shouldn't have mentioned the lady with the headscarf. Clearly, that was my mistake in this whole conversation. Was making reference.
Come on, when you started saying pancakes, that's the first thing I thought of anyway. Was the lady that pound... Pancakes is ready!
No, we did not
That
do
one.
that. We did not do that.
Or what about the triangle?
Pancakes is ready!
No, what?
Medicine's ears perked up when you did that. You know that, right?
Well, yeah, that's only because he knows that's the commercial for Uncle Jemima's mashed liquor.
Yes, I love that commercial. Oh well.
Oh man, I got to find that full commercial now.
The problem is, like YouTube doesn't put a lot of Saturday Night Live stuff up.
No, they. Oh, here we go. I found it. Let's see if this has got it. Oh, thank you for putting a little intro on this. That's totally what I wanted. Are you actually going to play the video, or are you just going to show me still shots from it?
Okay, I have a complaint, Gators.
Yes?
I have a complaint about AdBlock Plus. I love my AdBlock Plus, but did you hear what's going on?
What?
Google, Microsoft, and Amazon are paying AdBlock Plus to let their ads through.
Oh, for
yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. There's a few sites that will pop up ads now, and I'm like, are you
there are
fucking
alternatives. Apparently, Liam found one called Ad Muncher that will get rid of it as well. And that's another plugin. But yeah, AdBlock Plus, oh my god.
Bunch of fucking sellouts.
They gave him quite a bit of money over it too. I'm like, well, hey, whatever, but still.
Ugh. Sellouts.
It's kind of a shame.
That is. Like, as long as it keeps blocking the ads on my Yahoo page. And well, the big problem is that, hey, look, you know, if an ad shows up somewhere that I'm not looking out of my way, that's fine. But it's when the ads get intrusive. Like, Yahoo will make an ad show up in an area that makes it look like it's an email. You know, so like you click on it to view an email, and well, you just clicked on an ad because it's not really an email. And that is intrusive. So I'm glad that it blocked that. And then if you go to a torrent site and they have a bunch of banner ads, sometimes those banner ads will actually will have viruses in them, and they'll actually infect your computer without even clicking on them. So AdBlock is good at blocking it. So at least AdBlock is still keeping the riffraff out of my computer.
Yeah. The one thing I really hate was on a lot of YouTube videos, the freaking ad would be 5 minutes, and the clip I was looking at would be like a minute and a half.
Yeah, that's...
So it's like the ad's longer than the clip, and I'm like, dude, this is bull.
Yeah. I can't find the Uncle Jemima Mash Liquor clip on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube sucks when it comes to SNL stuff.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah.
The only try looking for Happy Fun Ball on there. It's hard to find.
The only thing they have on here is a clip that's called Uncle Jemima, which uses still shots of the sketch to music.
I think NBC has told them to take it all off,
right?
Because they put it on their site,
right? Well, it's like when I tried to find the clip of Will Ferrell singing "Most Wonderful Time of the World" year on a turntable while getting sick. I found like 3 different clips of it on YouTube, all of which were used with a handy cam pointed at a TV screen. To which I made comments bitching them out for being so stupid and posting an awful clip. Who wants to watch it taped on a handy cam on a TV? It's like, really, stop clogging the internet with garbage no one wants to see.
Yeah, pretty much.
Emily writes in Mars, you know there's a skip button, right? Well, but it makes you wait a certain amount of time before you can skip.
Yeah, I don't want to do skips. Skips are evil. So honestly, if there's a video I like, I just download it now and watch it. Or I'll use Ad Muncher. There's a couple forks off of the older version of AdBlock Plus that someone's created. But yeah, I've lost all respect for them, unfortunately.
But anyways, you know...
Haters, think I should buy that Onkyo? What do you think? Should I buy it? Should I get it?
It looks all right. I don't have a strong opinion either way on that, but it looks like a good deal.
I don't have a photo to hook up to it. I'm sorry.
No, you can get one. You could have bought one off. Oh, by the way, update on the turntable.
Yeah.
So eBay did refund me for that difference in shipping when UPS ended up charging me more than they said. But the way they paid me back was by crediting my fees on eBay, which has left me with actually a balance on my eBay account in the positive. So on the one side, most of that was, it basically means that the money I got from my turntables, now I have a positive balance on eBay, so I don't have to give them the fees for the auctions because I basically paid the extra in shipping instead of paying fees. But it also means I have an $8 credit on my eBay account, so I have to actually sell something else on eBay to get that $8 worth. Which, not a big deal. They helped me out. They credit my eBay account, so that's good. The one that did get sent media mail because the person already selected that option and had me send it, the post office caught it and charged the guy $26 to get his package.
Oh, I'm sure he was pissed.
He emailed me and said, well, they explained it to me that it shouldn't have been sent media mail. It was the wrong way to ship it. And I wrote back basically saying, hey, I'm real sorry about the misunderstanding. I didn't catch it until after you checked out and that option was selected. And I figured rather than – and I saw that they spot check. So I thought maybe it would go undetected. I figured rather than come to you and make you pay more, I would send it that way and hope it made it through. Sorry about the misunderstanding. I didn't offer a refund because he still paid the right amount for shipping. So
it would overall he paid the same amount he would have been paying anyway.
It's like, hey, I if I didn't do that, I would have asked you for the $26 before I would have sent it. I figured let's try to save you some money. And let's try to get away with it. So hopefully he's.
Did he complain or did you say, "Oh well"?
He didn't reply back to that. But also, I've not gotten a positive feedback from either of them yet. But I've not gotten a negative from either of them yet either. So hopefully these people are going to be reasonable and won't bitch. But I don't know if he was expecting me to offer him some money, but.
I honestly, if I was doing something and I noticed that, I would have said, well, I would have paid it anyway. I'm not. I would have just cut my losses, and honestly, it wasn't really a loss.
I'm hoping the way he looks at it as it was an honest mistake, and he tried to save me money, because I did the research and saw they weren't going to charge a fine.
Yeah.
They're just going to charge what the actual cost would have been.
Well, yeah, and like I said, either way, it would have been the same price anyway.
Right.
So the guy's not out any extra money, and you're not out any extra money. So
right. It's just
worked
that
itself out.
It's just that maybe he was a bit inconvenienced, and maybe it was also. I mean, the only big issue would be that was the shipping fee that he saw when he was bidding, and so maybe he would have bid lower if he saw what the full price of shipping would have been. So the worst someone could claim is that it was a bait and switch, which was not my intent. And I don't.
That would not have been a bait and switch either. That's the thing.
Bait and switch is basically saying this is the cost of shipping, and then when it shows up, well, actually, it's $26 more. So it's it's a way to trick people into bidding higher. But that was not my intent.
The bait and switches that I've seen, Gators, are they'll sit there, they sell you something for like $20, and it's really light. They charge you like $60 shipping. And you're like, now that's the bait and switch.
Right.
They'll charge you extra shipping. That's how they get their money. And I'm like, dude, that's BS right there.
This was an innocent mistake, and
exactly.
I'm hoping the guy sees it that way. And the turntable
and
works
the guy
fine.
knows that. The guy's like, that's probably how much it costs to ship, honestly.
And I've tried to conduct myself honestly, because really the reason I'm selling the turntable is because it is a budget model, and I sold it as it is. It is what it is, and it runs a hair slow, and that is the way that model runs. It's in the right ballpark as far as speed, so it's not like you put on a record and you go, well, that's slow. It's only the people that are nitpicky that are going to notice anything's up, and I knew something was up.
That's when you hook it to the 220-volt connection Gators. That's when it gets too slow.
And so someone actually sent the question asking, have you tested it? Does it run at the right speed? And I wrote back to him. I said, I've tested it, and it sounded fine to me. However, this model does not have a fine-tuned speed adjustment on it and does not have a strobe on it. If you are concerned about having a precise speed on your turntable, I would recommend looking for a 6200 or 6300. So someone asked me questions about the turntable, and I basically told him, dude, this isn't the turntable for you. Here's what you should look for. And he didn't bid on my auction.
That's good. You gave some honest advice. That's a plus.
Because if I told him, oh, yeah, speed's spot on, and then he gets it and he finds out he can't fine-tune the speed and it's a hair slow, he would have been pissed off. And I don't want that. I don't want that. So it's like, hey, dude, I'll level with you. I didn't tell him it's off. I just told him it can't be fine-tuned adjusted, but it sounds fine. That's what I said. So and that was enough that hopefully he found himself a nice sweet 6200 to bid on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think I should go Denon instead, huh?
You know what? When I was researching them, I was reading reviews that people like the sound of the Denon over the Onkyo, but I'd probably say 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I think they're both equally fine names. I mean, it's what you find a good deal on and what has the features you want.
It's still when my Pioneer popped. I mean, that is such a good receiver.
And Pioneer was a brand that Gothard was recommending, and I almost went that route.
I found out by reading some forums they haven't made their own receivers in 3 years. The same model, the same model line, the 820 series, 821, 822, 823, and probably the 824. They all had transistor problems. And they all pop, and every single one of them.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and I didn't find this out. I was doing some serious research after the fact. They're like, "Oh yeah, it's a no problem."
Bummer.
Yeah, so they go, "Well, you could go get it fixed. It's probably gonna be about $200 to get it fixed." And I'm like, "I'm gonna cut my losses and spend that on a new receiver." Honestly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I was thinking of. I've been considering adding some RAM to my computer because I'm running 8 gigs of RAM, which is fine for most of what I do. But now I'm running these a virtual server 2012 and a virtual desktop.
How much do you have right now? 8?
8.
Yeah, you're gonna want at least 16 or 32 on that machine. Can you handle that much?
It could go up to 32, but it would cost me
it would
cost me $260.
As much as you can, Gators. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking if I added another 8. Because the thing is when I built this machine, I put 8 gigs of RAM knowing that I could beef up the RAM later because I spent a lot of money on parts. I'm like, well, I'll just throw 8 in now. And 8's been adequate for what I'm doing. And I'm running the virtual machines all right, well enough with the 8. But I do see that, it is eating up a lot. But then again, it's like, it's working fine like this. Why spend money on something that I could get by without? So I don't know.
Well, yeah, and I hate to say it, the minimum amount of RAM people are recommending nowadays is 8.
Yeah, I know.
My Ultrabook unfortunately has 4, and I can't upgrade it. I know. It's doing what I get out.
I know I'm at the minimum recommendation, but what I'm doing is working out fine. When I turn on the virtual machine, it cranks up the amount of RAM that's using, but it's not maxing it out. However, it is causing my videos to sometimes stop working right. And then I have to crash out VLC and restart the video at the right point, which is a minor annoyance, but I can get by.
Well, look at RAM. It's mostly cheap right now. I mean, do you have room, or did you buy 4 sticks of 2?
No, I have 2 sticks of 4, but if I max it out, I'd get 4 sticks of 8.
Oh, would you get 4 sticks of 8?
Well, that's if I were to max it out. That's how to max it out. But I could buy another.
You probably get by with 16 though.
Well, I could buy another 2 sticks of 4. But if I bought another 2 sticks of 4, then I would have to buy 4 completely new sticks if I wanted to go beyond there.
Yeah, but then you could take that 4 sticks of 4 and put it in your other machine if you had to later on.
To me, it's more logical to buy if I'm not gonna max it out, I should buy 2 sticks of 8.
I would say that too.
Because if I buy 2 sticks of 4 and then later I want to expand, I'm going to have to retire at least 2 sticks anyways. So
buy 2 sticks of 8 Gators and just keep the other 2 sticks of 4 in there.
Right. So it'd be I would bring it up to 24.
You would bring it up to 24.
And then if I wanted to bump it up to 32, I'd buy another 2 sticks of 8 and replace the 4 with the other 2 of 8.
Yeah. 2 sticks of 8. Look to see how much it is and.
Well, I know 4 sticks of 8 would be around $260, but I'd have to send in a $50 mail-in rebate to get it down to that level.
Are you buying them at Fry's, or would you be buying them on eBay on Newegg?
Well, Newegg I could do it for like $250, $260. Fry's I could do it for like $260, and that's with the mail-in rebate.
Honestly, I would go to Fry's because if all spills, you can return them.
Right.
Easier.
Yeah, and plus I don't have to wait for them to show.
I mean, you were burned last time, remember?
Yeah. Well, that was because it was a motherboard RAM pairing that the RAM wasn't compatible with the motherboard, and so the only thing they gave me a gift card, and I was able to sell off that RAM on eBay anyway, so I recouped my money that way.
But still, look at all the extra work you had to do.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that they sold that pairing and they were incompatible. And it's like, well, we can't give you we can't exchange it for something else. You could return them both together, or we could just give you a gift card and call it good. And I didn't want to unbuild my computer to return a motherboard.
Yeah.
But I probably won't be buying all my parts from Newegg again. Well, actually, I probably will be.
2.6 of 8 you should look at. Look and see what brand your other RAM is. Is it Patriot or Corsair?
I forget what it is. It's whatever Newegg
make sure the
had that
timings
day.
are the same if possible, if you're going to do that.
Maybe I should just buy 2 pairs of 8 and take that pair. Buy 1 pair of 8 and take that other pair out and just run it at 16. And then
Will your other machine handle the 2.4s?
No. My other machine is maxed out with what it can do.
How about Kristen's machine, the Dell?
I don't think it takes the same thing.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, I'd probably if I wanted to get something for them, I'd have to list them on eBay.
Oh yeah, you could probably sell them on eBay or something.
Yeah, I could probably get something for them on eBay.
Yeah. Ow. Sorry about that.
I don't know. One thing though, one person was talking about those like little media server computers that, those look pretty savvy.
I'm looking at either the Intel Nook or the what's the other one? The Gigabyte Brick.
There's some cool things, and the thing is though is that I'm really, I'm at a point now where I've built up some savings, and if I got a bonus recently. If I wanted to buy myself a gift, I could buy myself a little something, but I'm not because I want to move.
You might want to save that because you're thinking of a
move.
Yes.
And when I'm done with my move, I want to still have money in my savings.
Oh, you mean you want that?
Yeah, because after I move, I want to at some point after the move start house hunting. That's going to require
a house.
Yes, I want to be a homeowner.
And then you'll be watching multiple episodes of Hot and Cold all the time just to get the hints, right?
You know what? I realized after my little 15-minute interview, I should have mentioned that when they said, "And you want to move back here?" It's when you come back up with the perfect line to respond with after the fact. I should have said, "Well, I can't get in episodes of Hot and Cold here in California." That line would have probably killed it.
Oh my! They would have just said, "Yeah, you need to go away." Sorry.
No, they would have said, "Oh my God, you're one of us. You are a Mena. What are you doing in California? Get back over here." Either that, or they would have said, "What's that? Oh, you've never Tom Gozy, Hot Cold? You don't, never mind."
I'm sorry. Yeah. Watch some Bob Vila and some Hot and Cold.
No,
and the miscellaneous episode of Home Improvement.
Oh yes, we got to watch a little Hot and Cold.
Are we level? No.
Nope.
Does Bob Vila do this stuff? I don't think so. I think a cat would take care of this, but I don't have a cat. I get some to show you. I made a big, stupid boo-boo. I have to admit, I mess up. I know you find it hard to believe. We also have squirrels living under there. It's always popping TV. That's what it is. It's popping. Where'd I put the sander, camera person? If I talk long enough, anything can happen on this show.
There we go. Good old Hot and Cold.
You forgot it smells like wet stone.
Oh,
smells like wet stone.
Yeah, there
you go.
I've got a garbage bag full of old wire and a bucket full of more old wire. Do not try this at home.
Was just. Oh God.
Gets all over
Sorry,
my glasses
guys.
and I can't breathe and it's awful stuff.
Oh God.
We're working. We lose the clock.
Oh God.
In Scout's honor,
Oh well.
I'm not doing any wiring for a while.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Gotta get a break. I gotta get the tape. Be right back.
That's some quality TV right there, Hot and Cold.
So I bit the Bullet Gators, and I'm running the full version of Windows 10 on my laptop.
Oh, we could do that.
Oh, someone's calling too.
Hello there, caller.
وكنت أنت المحظوظ السعيد وفزت بالشيك الرابح على اليورو. طبعا حتى تستطيع أن تصرف الشيك لازم نعرف نضيف معلومات عنك وحتى ما تفقد الحق باستلام الشيك.
Oh, what?
Go away!
I think she was propositioning you, Gators.
Ugh. God, it's awful.
Oh, well. I've never gotten those before.
No, I don't know why. I don't know how we got on this calling list to get all these foreign calls that make no sense.
There goes the band.
Someone probably called someone.
I don't know what happened.
Maybe our phone line is ad-supported now.
You know what? I got to tell you. I've been reading a lot of notalwaysworking.com, and as I'm going through, I found this one exchange that was posted there that made me think of Addie.
What? You're thinking of Addie?
Well, no, this exchange reminded me of Addie.
Oh, okay.
My coworker has made 2 shakes that have been sent back for being too thin. I ended up making it myself, and my window time has been completely ruined. And the coworker goes, well, was she a certain race? Me, what? The one that sent the shake backs. Was she certain race? Are you racist? No, I'm not. Just the ones who send the shakes back are usually that race. So you think people act a certain way based on their race? That's racism. No, it's not. It's prejudice. And that is exactly the type of thing Addie would say. And you know what? I sent that to Addie, and I said, this made me think of you. And Addie said, oh, that's true. Racism and prejudice isn't the same thing. It's like, yeah, I knew you would agree with that. That is so, it's like, oh my God, when did Addie work in fast food? Clearly this is him.
Gators, Addie doesn't love me. He just messages me, he says, hi Mars. It was Mars. And I go, hi Addie, and then he just disappears. He never talks to me anymore.
Well, he talked to me about your mother.
Yeah, I don't want to know. I know too much. Never mind.
Yeah.
No.
I had to. It was a disturbing conversation. I figured I should let Mars know what Addie's saying about his mother.
I appreciate that. And so he won't talk to me himself anymore. I don't know why.
For some reason, Addie seems to like to imagine Mars and his mother making out.
I need to call his show one Saturday morning.
You need to. Yes. This must happen.
Except he won't accept my Skype request. I don't understand.
Well, he won't
why.
accept your end user license agreement, is what it is.
The UA, yeah. I don't know why.
I think that's what did it.
I should have made a copy of that so I could have pushed it around to people, but it was on the fly. Sorry.
Ah, well.
I'll have to draw something up someday.
There we go.
Yep. Oh well. But yeah, Windows 10 is good. It's pretty stable, I have to say. But it doesn't recognize all my devices. I plug my microphone in, and it says saying the Audio-Technica AT2020. It goes microphone 2.
You know what? I'll have to download it and make a virtual hard drive install of it. Because right now my computer, I created a virtual hard drive on one of my hard drives. Mm-hmm. And deployed a Windows 8.1 install to it, so my computer dual boots to either my Windows 7 install or my virtual hard drive with Windows 8.1. I can. And the cool thing about that is I took that virtual hard drive, I copied it onto an external drive, and attached it to my my laptop, and used BCD boot to make it boot to that, so I could boot to my Windows 8.1 install on my laptop or my desktop. Same install.
Isn't that nice?
That is nice.
It's pretty nice.
It's pretty nice. Yeah.
Now the question is, are you liking 8.1 or you just think it's a pile like everybody else does?
I think it's a pile.
Yeah. I always had it boot to desktop, and I installed Classic Shell, which added a start menu to it.
7 is perfectly functional for what I need to do. 8 does not offer me any advantages or benefits. So
no, it really doesn't.
Why would I use
it? It's better for gaming, I hear. But and 10 added a start menu back, which is nice. And it added some of the features of 8, which I like. You can right-click on the start menu and get to your control panel and your media and the main stuff you need to get to, which is nice.
I think it's bullshit that Microsoft completely skipped out on putting the start menu back in 8 because they promised they were going to put it back, and I think it's bullshit that customers that
Do you have SP1 installed? They added a mini start menu, but not really a start menu.
They did not add a start menu. They no. The thing is that a lot of people don't buy a version of Windows. They get a computer that comes with a version of Windows. And I know, like...
That's what this one did, yeah.
I have coworkers that bitch about that their computer came with Windows 8. And it's like, it's so different. I can't figure out... I go home, I don't know how to use my computer. I still haven't figured it out. You know, there's no start menu. And you know...
Tell them to install Classic Shell. It adds all your Windows 7 stuff back.
And Microsoft had announced that they were going to bring back the start menu, and they haven't. And now they basically have... They're bringing it back to Windows 10, but they're not giving it back to Windows 8. And I think that you know, basically it's, hey, you want it back? You have to buy a full new version of Windows. And I think that is wrong.
No, Gators. No. And this is the reason Microsoft is doing what they're doing. Anybody with Windows 7 or Windows 8 get a free upgrade to Windows 10.
They do?
This is why they're doing this.
Windows 10 is free to anyone with Windows 7?
It is free, yes.
Now, what if you have a cracked version of Windows 7?
I don't know. But it is a free upgrade.
Okay, well...
So, this is one reason Microsoft is doing this.
And what are you running? A trial of it? Or they have a test trial?
I'm running the technical preview of it.
All right, well, I'm going to have to...
So, it's not supposed to be out till, October or something, but I've been running a technical preview of it. It's changed a lot of things around, like your Windows Update and your control panels. Everything's different, but it's in a way a good different.
All right, let's see. Windows 10 Technical Preview, X80, X64. There we go. And we go. Save it.
Yep.
All right. Oh.
Now, I didn't need to install the serial number, but it's the same serial number for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw that on a virtual hard drive and... add that to my.
It's something to play with, and like I said, it's a free download and install. So.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
I probably shouldn't have upgraded my main computer, and I recommend people don't do this.
Well, that's why I'm going to install it on a virtual hard drive.
On a virtual, I was going to do it, and I've done this to every other operating system. So.
And then if I like it, I can. Well, here's the thing, though, is that I take a image of my C drive every night and keep a few images of it using EaseUS Todo or whatever, and so that way I basically have so if my hard drive, if my C drive ever dies, I could just grab a spare drive and throw the image on there. And
that's nice.
And I've got my Windows installed back, so I could.
That's nice.
So I could just keep one of those backups indefinitely because I only keep like a few of them. And if I keep one indefinitely, the latest one, and then upgrade to 10 or put a clean install of 10 on my C drive, and I don't like it, I can roll back to where I last was on that install.
I should be able to roll back. I've kept all the .olds, and they say rolling back to 8 is pretty easy to do. That's the only reason I said I put it on there, because if I need to roll back to 8.1, I'll do it.
Oh, well, why would you want to go from 10 back to 8? Because I'm thinking,
I liked 8.1. I actually liked it. I used like I said, I used Classic Shell, which added all the Windows 7 back to it.
Oh, that's right. You fixed it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I liked 8.1. I had no problem with it.
But I like 7, so I have no, because Addy gave me a hard time, like, oh, you're using a 6-year-old operating. It's pretty, you're just scared of change. And it's like, no, well, for one thing, when you get a new version, it's got new stuff in it, so it's going to use more system resources. So if I don't have a reason and I don't have something to gain, I should stick with the OS I'm using. And 8 doesn't offer me anything to gain. Now, for my line of work, it's beneficial for me to know 8 as well as 7.
Yeah.
So that's why I've created virtual installs of 8, and I'm going through the training videos and reading up on 8 and kind of figuring out where things are and learning the differences of it. So professionally, I am prepared to support 8. but that doesn't mean that when I'm just relaxing at home doing my stuff that I should use 8, because my job still requires knowing 7. None of our computers at my job have 8. Now, I should still know it so that, especially since I'm job hunting. Of course. But no, you know what? Fuck
8
you,
honestly
Addy.
doesn't make sense unless you have a touch screen. You have a touch screen, and it's your main system. It's like a touch laptop, and it's your main or a tablet. It's really nice. It's really good. But it's no good without a touch screen. It's as by itself. I would recommend it as I don't even know how to say. I mean, the thing is, it's a good touchscreen OS. As a standard desktop, it's okay. You can get by, but
no, that sucks.
Yeah. Vincent, how would you know? Have you used it?
No, but I've seen people who have.
Oh, okay.
Well, on that note,
ooh, oh,
it's time to put another episode of the Amateur Hour to bed. But we did try to be a little educational here tonight. I know I've learned a ton.
Okay.
So, anyways, Mars, what have you learned?
I've learned that you never found anything interesting in the drawers in the back of Radio Shack.
There we go. And Neo, what have you learned? Okay. Venison, what have you learned?
Venison.
Dropped out again.
What have you learned?
Venison? What did you learn?
What have you learned? What have you learned? What have you learned? What have you learned?
Okay, there we go. Well, for
man.
as long as this lasts, I have learned that no matter how much we can be bored by talk of quad, we can always go back to toilet humor and talking shit.
Very true.
I've learned that although throwing a dead bunny in your septic tank appears to cause the problem, solve the problem, it may cause worse long-term problems, such as a zombie bunny apocalypse coming out of the toilet.
Oh dear.
And that safety
Rev up that chainsaw.
And safety scissors are not
Yes.
good for circumcision. Oh, Neo's here. What have you learned?
I learned not to put dead animals in my septic tank.
Okay. Anyways, thank you very much for listening. Be sure to check out www.nhbradio.com and www.wildbunchradio.com for all your internet radio needs. And hey, check out nhbshow.com while you're at it too. Why not? I'm sure there's room for all of us. But remember, Woodshop is smart, and he listens to this show. Coincidence?
Ooh,
I don't think so.
Hey, this has no bandwidth. The show is complete.
There we go. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Venison. We'll help you with your bandwidth issues by freeing up some on your end. There we go. That takes care of that. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and good night.
Good night.